What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host Josh, and we are here today for a wonderful match watch along, the last do or die game between Canada and Suriname for World Cup qualification. It should be pretty intense. It should be pretty fun. I know we got a lot of people here who are excited for it. It's literally a do or die type of match. It's a big thing for Canadian soccer. If we stumble here, man, a lot of questions are going to be asked. It's going to be a little bit scary, but I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm hoping a lot of guys and girls here today will be excited for it because it's a proud moment to take on the Suriname squad in the final game of the group stage. Winner take all, have a date with Haiti. They've already won. They're waiting on the winner of this match, and there's been a lot of controversy on social media kind of what this game's going to look like, man. It's either going to be very good for Canada or very bad, because a lot of the Suriname people seem very confident that their team's gonna do very well, and we're gonna address a lot of the concerns in the chat as well. The lineups are out, but yeah, I mean, there's quite a few interesting things with this Suriname squad. I mean, a lot of you guys who maybe didn't watch the preview that we did, and we talked with JD, and we kind of got a background and look into where some of these Suriname players are playing, how they're doing, and it's a real Dutch-oriented way of playing football, which I think a lot of people could be a little bit worried about. But the starting 11 is out, and we will bring it up on screen for you guys to take a look at. But we'll see how a lot of you guys are doing today. A lot of people are saying there's some predictions. Some people are saying 2-1 Suriname. Some are saying 3-1 Canada. Let's go Davies. We got Bayern fan here. What's up? Hope you are well. I am well. I'm excited. I'm nervous. It's a big game, man. I couldn't imagine Canada stumbling at this level right now. But it's going to be scary, but I want to know what you guys have to think about our starting 11, because it's out. John Herdman, as a lot of people thought, maybe was going to go with the 4-4-2. Some people, and I was talking to JD, was kind of scared to see if Herdman might have actually went for that 4-3-3, because a 4-4-2 playing against this Dutch style of football is going to be a little bit interesting and a little bit challenging to be able to defend, because I think the Dutch are going to go for possession, and playing in a 4-4-2 with probably a little bit more attack-oriented players than you need can make it a little difficult. And from the first game, we kind of took a look at exactly the formation we were really looking for, and I'm excited for it. So from the starting 11, I'll give you guys my assumption of how it's going to be played. It more than likely is going to be a 4-3-3. In net is Borjan. Right back will be Johnston. Center back will be Henry as well as Kennedy. We haven't seen Scott Kennedy play before. He plays in the second division in Germany, so I'm pretty excited to keep an eye on him. And obviously, a lot of you guys are familiar with Daniel Henry. He's played for TFC. He's had a good career. He's over in South Korea now. Left back will be Richie Larea. As you guys know, Larea is very versatile. He can play on the right. He can play on the left. I thought Adekubi would probably start this game. I was obviously wrong. They went with Alistair Johnston for right back. They threw Larea over to the left-hand side. And then it's a three-man midfield, which I'm kind of excited for, because I was a little bit nervous with a 4-4-2. Because when it came to a 4-4-2, playing against this Dutch style of football, playing with the way that they're going to go for possession, I just felt it was going to be broken down a little bit too easily. But now they decided to pack up that midfield. They got Eusakio in there, which is fantastic. I think he's going to be one of the most important players on the pitch today. They went with the two MLS boys. They got Jonathan Osorio and Piet in there as well, which is pretty cool. I was surprised. I mean, I had a feeling that Samuel Piet was going to start. I did not know Osorio was going to start, so that's pretty cool. But the main thing is the front three. And I mean, CONCACAF has been talking about it for a while. The hottest front three. People think that Canada has got the best front three, but they're actually going to play with it. Because usually when they play in the 4-4-2, Davies plays on the left, and then you got the two striker tandem up front. But since this looks like a 4-3-3, for those of you guys know who Kyle Larin is, he plays as a winger for Besiktas. He can also play as a striker. He played in a 4-1-4-1 formation this year, playing on the left and the right-hand side. And I'm pretty excited for it. So he's going to be playing over on the right wing today. It's my assumption. Left wing will be Davies, and striker will be Jonathan David. That is a hot-looking front three. I'm pretty excited for it. We're going to see what a lot of you guys are saying in the chat. Mark says 3-0 win for Canada. I'm digging it. Hey, man, good luck from Brazil. Hope to see Canada in Qatar next year. Much love, my friend. Much love. We're hoping that as well. We're very nervous. Us Canadians over here. It's a massive game. Jonathan Walker's here says, Canada scares me as a U.S. men's national team fan, but how good they are. They are, man, but they are very front heavy. Having Davies up front. I mean, the one thing I did like about playing in the 4-4-2 is that, I mean, Davies is the wing back. He's got some real defensive awareness to his game. When he plays as a left midfielder, he can track back when he needs to. This is a very different shape for John Herdman. It's going to be very interesting to see how he's going to manage it, how he's going to do it. And I think it's the right call. A 4-3-3 is probably the right call coming up against this Dutch way of football. But it's definitely gonna release the front three a little bit more, and I'm very interested to see what Kyle Laren's gonna be like out on the right hand side, a position he played very well in Turkey this year. Jonathan David obviously will be up front, which we're all excited for, and then Davies with license to run, showing the world class talent he is gonna be a lot of fun. But it was a little bit surprising for John Herdman. I give him credit because it wasn't the exact formation I assumed that we were gonna go with, and it should be a lot of fun. I believe the experience and winning mentality that David and Davies will drag Canada through 3-2. It will be a lot closer of a match than I think a lot of people think. I got a real in-depth look at the Suriname squad after talking with JD and seeing some of the players that they have, because they have a strong group of players. Most of these players were born in the Netherlands. Most of them went up in the Dutch league. Most of them know that kind of Dutch way of playing, which I think is a huge advantage for them. And it's going to be very interesting to see the way that they come at Canada. JD is the expert on Suriname told me that they think that Suriname will have more possession than we do. And I think it'll be interesting because when we look at kind of the back four for Canada, it's clearly the weak spot. So the question mark for me is whether we can get the ball from the back to the front three, to the dangerous people, and see what we can do there. But if you guys are new to this stream, if you're new around here, be sure to smash the like button. We're at 20. We're going for the Canada win, guys. Let's get that number a little bit up. And subscribe if you guys are new. But I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are on the game today. Steven says that he thinks Adekubi is not fully fit. That would make sense to me. The blessing with Richie Larea is that he's very versatile. He can play on that left-hand side. So when needed, I mean, it's very helpful having him over on that left-hand side, especially because there was no real other left-back options besides Alphonso Davies. And in a match like this, you don't want Davies to play at left-back. You just don't. Josh, send me the link. I'll come into cause trouble for the second half. Tactic Manager, how you doing? I'll be live with Josh at halftime. All right, Tactical Manager is going to come back in the second half. We'll have an American perspective on the match a little bit later. Good buddy of mine. It's actually a 3-5-2 with Alistair at right wing back and Kennedy at left center back. So if it's a, I find it. I mean, I guess yeah, I guess you could see it like that as well. So Andrew's telling us he thinks it's gonna be a 3-5-2, and they can play it like that. So it would be Borjan and net if they do go with this system. Alistair Johnson, I'm assuming, is that what he's telling me? No, he's saying Alistair's right center back. So it's gonna be Richie Larea then at right wing back. Alistair Johnson will be playing at the right center back. Kennedy will be left center back. Henry obviously will be our central center back. Then we'll go for the three-man midfield still of Osorio, Eustachio, and Piet. Left wing back and right wing back, again, will be Larea and Davies, which is a very interesting approach. It gives them a good potential with the front two then of David and Laren, which again makes sense. So yeah, I mean, Andrew, it could definitely be that formation as well. I'm very curious to see the way that they go up. Because of the versatility of Richie Larea, it gives them options mid-game if they do decide to switch. But that very well could be the starting 11 and could very well be the way that they line up. Jonathan Walker says, I really hate it when the list of the lineup comes out. The number of possibilities. US does the same thing. Yeah. Lucas says he's nervous. Davies at left wing back and Larea at right wing back. Yep. And that probably makes a little bit more sense. I could still see it played in 4-3-3. Again, just due to the versatility of Larea being able to play on that left and right hand side if he wanted to be. Zach is here, saying excited for the match. May the best team win. I'm assuming he's a Suriname supporter. Good luck from the States, from Wes. Thank you, my man. Hello there, mate. Almost 90% are Dutch players and less than 10 caps. It's going to be a very interesting match for a few reasons. A couple of the big things I'm looking at in today's match is the fact that we haven't played a actual real, and I shouldn't say competitive, but an actual intense competitive match. I can't even remember since when. Like, it's been so long. We obviously went through that huge drought before we played our first two World Cup qualifier matches. When we did eventually play those games, they were against the Cayman Islands and Bermuda. Didn't give us the test that we're looking for. Then we went up against Aruba, the same story. And now we're getting an actual real test. And we're going up against a team who, again, has basically a bunch of new recruits. They are players who played together similar in the Dutch league, but it is a very different look, and I'm very curious to see the way that this match goes on, because on paper, looking at our very powerful attack, it makes you think that Canada is immediately the favorites, but there are some good ballers over on that Suriname squad, and depending on the way that these two teams line up and the tactics that they go for, it can make for a very interesting game. I can't pick. Born in Suriname, but living in Canada. I'm rooting for a clean, hard game. Very interesting. You can go for a draw, which sends Canada through. So, I mean, if you want to be strategic about it, that's the way you could do. But should be comfortable for Canada. The footy capital. Friends of ours from Australia. How you doing, my friend? Borjan is guaranteed one garbage goal, so hopes he gives it up early. James Sunderland is not having it with Borjan. Borjan did have, obviously, that one pretty big error that he made in the Bermuda game. Obviously didn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things, but I'm hoping for a classier affair. But what do you think Denmark's chances are in the Euros? Little off-brand question. I'm digging it. I'm not going to say that they're favorites. I think that they could probably get out of the group, and then we'll probably lose in probably the round of 16. K won't start. I think he will. This is the starting lineup that's put out there. So, I mean, it was a surprise. I thought K would be a little bit higher up in the pecking order than Osorio was, but it's a wicked. I mean, like I said, I gave you guys two different ways that this formation right here could line up in the 4-3-3 or in the 3-5-2. I do believe Andrew is right. I do believe, now that I've thought about it, it will more than likely line up in a 3-5-2, mainly because that puts Laren and David as the two strikers. And it gives Davies, again, that ability to run up and down the pitch, which I do think in a game like this, you will need a little bit of his defensive awareness. He's a good enough player to cover that ground. But, I mean, at first glance, when I saw Alistair Johnson in there and Larea, I just assumed it would be a 4-3-3, which it still very well could be. But we'll have to wait and see. Tactical Manager says, I think it'll be 2-2. All I know is Canada has no defense. The defense is definitely the weak spot of this squad, but there is a very strong front three, obviously, which is where most of the focus on this match will lay. West says Nashville is my MLS team, so I'm glad Alistair is starting. I'm a big fan of Alistair Johnson. He came up near Vaughan, which is relatively close to where I live. Very cool seeing how he's doing. It's a very nerve-wracking match, guys. Like, it's do or die. If we win this, we could go on and get our revenge story against Haiti, and then obviously go with the big boys of CONCACAF. And if we lose this early, this quickly, it makes you question. It makes you question just about everything of where this program is going. John Herdman's obviously going to be a big one as well. Oh, where are we? Good luck. Thomas Delaney is from my country. I like it. I like it. Dortmund supporter I am, so it makes sense. Kelly says that K will start over Osorio. This is the release starting 11, so Osorio is starting, but I am surprised at that as well. James said, could we see Larea play as a winger in a 4-4-2? I don't think so, because if we play with a 4-back, there's no way that we put Davies restricted in that natural left-back position. If Davies is on the pitch, he's going to be playing either as a left wing-back, a left mid, and or a winger in the grand scheme of things. I don't think they're going to put him in a 4-back formation, restrict him like that. He's too useful on the pitch. Larea can play as a left-back. He does it for TFC. He could easily slot in there, but I do like what Andrew's saying, and I do have a feeling maybe Alistair Johnson will slide in at that outside center back and give Richie Larea and give Alphonso Davies the room to run. Canada has a firepower up top. Yes, it does, my man. Pulisic, McKennie, Sargent, Morris all started, and they didn't score. Fair. There's some beers going on in there. I like it. I think it's pretty cool that a couple MLS players are starting today, guys. I do. I mean, I guess the one way this could have went, there could have almost been no players from the MLS in the starting 11. But it's pretty cool to see. I mean, Piet and Osorio have been around. They've been with this team for a while. It'll bring a little bit of leadership. Should be pretty fun, man. Vaughn, respect. I like it. Got some Suriname supporters in here as well. Got Suriname 3-0, 4-0. I don't know about that. But this is Canada versus the Dutch B team, to be honest. There are a lot of players obviously coming from the Dutch league. I mean, when I was doing my research on the team, just about every player was born in the Netherlands. So The one thing that can help them out is that they've played together in similar type of systems in the Netherlands. They do play that 3-4-3 kind of style. JD, who again is the individual I was talking about in the preview about the way that this game was going to go down, he kind of thought they were maybe going to go with a back five. It'll be interesting. Simon says he thinks 2-1 for Canada. Seem very nervous. I am, guys. I am. Let me know where you guys are watching from today. And drop a like on the chat if you guys just got here. Subscribe if you're new. But this is a huge, huge game for Canadian soccer. I've never seen a squad as talented as the squad we have now. We have to be making it to the very bare minimum, that final round of qualification, before anything else. And I think this is a huge opportunity for us to do this. I am nervous. I'm excited. I don't really know what to expect from this game. From what I can tell you from talking to someone who watches the Suriname squad in-depthly, they think that Suriname will go for possession. They think they will try to play with the ball. They will run at Canada. It almost seems like sometimes Canada's best option is to try to defend and hit on the counter, which I don't think is going to be playing to their strength. I think they're going to have to win the midfield battle, which I do think we have stronger midfielders, and then hit the front three, which is exactly what I think they need to do, and be very careful when defending. But I'm excited. It's always fun to represent your country, and I'm hoping that the guys on the pitch will be able to do that today. Suriname fans are confident. They are pretty confident. We did a couple collabs before this game, and they were a couple big ones. They were a couple big collabs, and a lot of Suriname supporters are pretty confident. A lot of played for the Holland U23s. Yes, Chris, you were absolutely right. A lot of the U23s, a lot of the U21s played at the Dutch level. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with Becker, who plays for Union Berlin in the Bundesliga. Watch them quite a bit, but I mean, there's some talent. Haps is a good left back. He plays in the Dutch league as well. Cheery is someone who's been around the block. He's played in the championship in England. He's went over to China for a small stint. It'll be fun, man. Samuel says, I love that Samuel Piet. He is very good at Canada's defense. I think it was very important getting Samuel Piet in today's starting 11 because without Atiba Hutchinson, who brings that real defensive awareness to this squad, it's a huge blow. There's no way around it. But Samuel Piet is a good option. He's got over 50 cats for his country. He does it for the MLS. This is a good game for him to step in, play alongside Eustachio. I'm very excited to watch Stefan Eustachio. I'm very excited of his potential future, see where he's potentially going to go. Because I think he's going to be a massive player, and he's been linked to the likes of Napoli, Porto. He's going to be someone who's going to be very helpful for the likes of Osorio and Piet to play off of today. If Canada makes it to the World Cup, can they make it out of the group? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, like, this squad has got some firepower, and this is one of the best, like I said, this is the best Canadian squad I've ever seen in my life. There's still a lot of question marks, man. You're talking about someone who just won Ligue 1, who won a Champions League, who obviously did it in the Turkish league, which is still a very good league. But then you got players who are playing in the second division of the Bundesliga, who are playing in South Korea. It's a wild range of quality on the pitch today, which makes it very intriguing to see the way that they play, the way that they can get it together. Can John Herdman do it when it matters on the day? I'm excited. But if you guys are new around here, be sure to smash the like button. I'm excited. Hopefully seeing a lot of new faces around here. I want to hear some predictions, so put them in. Hopefully a lot of Canadian predictions. Did you already show the Suriname lineup? I did not show the Suriname lineup. Maybe, I don't know if I'll get producer T to maybe hunt it down if it's out. I haven't taken a look at it yet. But I probably should before we get going here. Yo, my friend was asking which club is bigger, Dortmund or Atletico Madrid. What do you think? It's a good question. I mean, I work a little bit for Dortmund. I'm a Dortmund fan channel, so there's only one answer for me. It's got to be Dortmund, but they're both massive, massive clubs, my man. Belgium is watching. Well, that is unreal, my friend. Very, very cool. I really hope Canada wins 11-0 to shut up the Suriname fans. I don't think it'll be 11-0 game, man. This game's not going to be a similar type of match to the other three we saw in the group stage. This is a good, solid Suriname squad. A lot better than some of the competition we've come up against. Arguably, in my opinion, the Suriname squad is stronger than the Haiti squad. This is going to be a massive test. And hopefully with the firepower that we got, we should be able to take it on. Did anyone else see the U.S. versus Mexico game Sunday night? I did, man. One of the best CONCACAF games I think I've ever seen in my life. It was entertaining. It had a little bit of everything. penalty goals, penalty saves. Tactical manager freaking out. It was quite the game. The States won in the end, obviously, which was very good for their soccer program. And hopefully Canada can return the favor today, because this is a massive, massive game for our soccer program. There's been a lot of hype around this team, and it's time to go on fruition today. I am nervous. Someone just asked me if I miss Atiba Hutchinson, and I do. He's someone who's absolutely fantastic at what he does. Very good on the ball. Leader of this squad. He's been in it for a long time now, and to be without him is going to be a little bit scary. But I have faith, man. I have faith. Canadian coach said that Canada will win, so I'm sitting here in Suriname and watching. And the confidence of John Herdman, I like it, but math says that Viet is going to dominate defensively tonight. He's going to have to. He's going to have to pick up exactly where Atiba Hutchinson would be, man. And I think he knows that. I think that's why Herdman's putting his faith in him. He's been it. He's been a leader of this squad. He's worn the captain's armband on several occasions, so it's going to be very cool to see what he can do today. Bye-bye. I'm going to another match. Bye-bye, JJD. Take care, my friend. Suriname fans think that Feyenoord player can beat a Bayern player. Haps is a solid left back, but I mean, you can't compare him to Davies, man. Let's be completely honest. But let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Where are my Canadians in the chat? If you guys are watching from Canada today, put a Canadian flag in there, because I want to see the love. It's always been a passion of mine to be able to do something like this and find some other Canadian fans from across our country. And it's a big day, man. It's a big day for this sport. It's a big day for this country. I want to see a little bit of love. Canada 3-0. Stop being humble. David Davies are different class. They are. I mean, they are. If this game can be dominated the way that it should be, and you can get the ball to Davies, to Laren, to David, and they can take over the way that they should, this game is going to be scary, man. It absolutely is. There's no reason why this team shouldn't go into the Suriname squad and get a result. The thing that makes me worried going in is the tactical battle. I like John Herdman, I do. I just don't know if he's got a game plan that is going to suit the Suriname squad, because the Suriname squad is a very new squad, man. They haven't played together a whole lot. I'm hoping we get the battle right on the day, because from what I've heard from talking to people who are, like I said, been around the game a lot, been around the Suriname squad, it's going to be a scary team. They're going to pass quite a bit. We do have the starting 11, though, for Suriname for you guys to take a look at here. JD pretty much nailed it. He said it would probably... There was a couple of formations that he thought they were going to play, but they are going to line up today in a 4-2-3-1, which is very interesting. They have Han in net. Ryan Dunk is obviously someone that you guys are probably pretty familiar with. He plays for Galatasaray. Very good center back. He's 35 years of age, so he's getting up there, but he can do it on his day. He plays as a CDM, but in recent years, he's dropped back. He's someone I definitely want to keep an eye on. Haps on the left-hand side, very talented fullback. Will get up the pitch when he can find the opportunity to do so. He can cause a little bit of problems as well. Cherry is a very creative midfielder. He's going to be playing in the number 10 role. Like I said, he's played in the championship in England. He went over to China for a little bit. I believe he's playing his trade right now in Israel, if I remember correctly. And then, of course, Becker, who's very, very quick. I watched him a ton in the Bundesliga this year because of Union Berlin, because, of course, you know, we're Dortmund, but he is a good player, man. And Union Berlin took down Dortmund this year, so I got a pretty painful memory of that. So hopefully we can keep Becker at bay, but he's gonna be very dangerous coming down that left or that right hand side. If Davies is playing in the wing back role, I feel very comfortable with Davies keeping an eye on Becker, and hopefully he'll be able to keep him at bay. And then Hasselbank up front, his nickname is Baby Tank, which I thought was something else, but he is related to the famous Hasselbank, and he's not doing it right now at club level. He's been kind of dry with the goals, but he scored 2 hat-tricks in his last game, so they do have a very hot number 9 coming in, but it's a decent lineup. If you guys aren't familiar with this squad and you got the names right now and you want to go on Google, take a look at where some of these players play from, they do play at a relatively good level. And the thing that scares me the most is they've come up all through the same kind of ranks in the Netherlands. Same type of football, same style of football, very appealing football on the eye. And that is what kind of makes me nervous for today's match. But we'll see what some of you guys think about the Suriname squad. And if we have our Suriname people in the channel now, let me know what you guys think of your starting 11. Because, I mean, I was pretty surprised with. But the Suriname one looks pretty much right on par. Kelly says Canada will win it. You got to tell tactical manager at half to give more respect to Canada at halftime when he's on with JD and saying how terrible Canada is, and Suriname would have no issue. Oh, football fan is calling out our boy tactical manager. I don't know where TM is. He's going to have to hold up himself. Bayern fan says he's watching from Jamaica. Watching from Suriname. Watching from Canada. Cameron's watching from... I'm embarrassed. Is that New Zealand or is that Australia? Cameron, I'm sorry. I can't remember. I think that's New Zealand. Cameron Smith, my man. Where are you watching from? I'm clearly just... I don't know. The flags sometimes get me when I can't get a real good look at it. It's one of the two. Josh is watching from the States. Watching from the Netherlands. Going for Suriname. Is soccer becoming more popular up there in Canada? It's definitely on the rise. If there was one thing that could help a country really get around a player, it's winning a Champions League, man. Alphonso Davies deserves just a massive amount of respect for coming from the MLS, coming from Vancouver, coming up through the academy, making that jump to Bayern, winning a Champions League. It was huge. It was huge for Canada. I live in a very small town here in Canada, a town of about 1,000 people-ish. No one here really cares about the sport. I always have. It's very cool having an outlet like this, seeing that there are a ton of other soccer fans from around this country, and also seeing the growth of the sport has been incredible, and seeing players like Jonathan David find success, Kyle Larin find success, even at home, Osorio finding success. It's very cool to see, man, and it absolutely is growing in Canada. I'm hoping it continues to grow. I think hosting the World Cup in 2026 will be massive, and hopefully having some type of run this year, which is why this game is so important today. I'm in Canada from Suriname. Win-win situation for me. There you go, my man. Davies or David? If you're asking me who I like more, I love them both, man. Finding talent like that. But if you were gonna ask me, I've ordered a jersey. I had an old one. It's a little ratty, but I ordered a new one. I put David on the back only because I'm a huge Dortmund fan, and I'm sorry, Fonzie, I love you, but I had to go for David for the one on the back of my my jersey here. Greetings from Amsterdam. Greeting, my man. If you guys are new to the stream, drop a like. Got a lot of you guys in here. We're at 36. Let's pump that number up. Let's get it to past 50. And subscribe also if you're new. It's obviously very appreciated as we cheer on our Canucks today. Atiba Hutchinson or Thomas Delaney? Well, one plays for Dortmund, one plays for Hutchinson. We'll call it a draw, my man. Ivan says it's going to be a hard game, but hopefully Canada will make it. I think that's well said, my man, and I think that's very true. It's going to be very curious to see the way that this Suriname team gets on, man. I'm very curious because the Suriname squad, as well as this new kind of way of Canada squad, haven't been able to take on a real opposition yet. And this is the opportunity to do so. And I'm absolutely buzzing about it. I'm very excited. I'm very nervous. And I'm hoping to enjoy it with you guys and hopefully celebrate and not be gutted. But Mini Toon says, I'm very nervous. Wow. Did Liam Miller win the Champions League? No, he did not. He's obviously with Liverpool, but he did not win the Champions League, I don't believe. Let's go Canada from Windsor, Ontario, ET Sports. I'm more near the London, Ontario area. I don't know if we have anyone near London, Ontario, but that would be about where you'll find me. But we got someone from India as well, which is very cool. Suriname, Fonzie. What's up, Windsor? About 40 minutes away. Let's go. From Scott. How you doing, my man? Hi, Josh. My national team finally won a World Cup qualifier match. Won. My guess is Peru, my man, right? I'm thinking. I think Peru was winning earlier, if I remember correctly. If so, congratulations. Hopefully my national team can follow suit. I would be so happy if you got a Davies shirt, especially if it's a Bayern one. No, my man. Can't get a Bayern shirt. Davies put me in an awkward situation. But all right, boys, get ready for one hell of a match. It will be one, man. It will be one. Callum Knight says, I'm by London, Ontario, by Strathroy. Very cool, my man. Very cool. I'm more near the Woodstock area, so Callum, you may have an idea where that is. I'm writing from Amsterdam. Think Suriname will win this game. Let's go. Well, that's not what we want to hear, my guys. That's not what we want to hear. But let's hear some points from you guys in the chat today. What is the reason why you think one of the two teams will win? Because for me, it's discipline. I haven't seen a fight. I haven't seen a real pushback on this new looking Canada squad yet. I'm very curious to see if things don't go right immediately, how they'll be able to respond from it. Because I think there's going to be goals in this game. I don't think this is going to be a walk in the park by any stretch of the imagination. I'm a little nervous for that reason. I don't want to see them get down on themselves if they can't pick themselves back up. But when you look at experience and people who've done that on every player on the pitch, when you have someone like Alphonso Davies, who's been through what he has already at his young age, it's massive, man. It's absolutely massive. I think it's going to really help. Suriname doesn't really have someone like that. I mean, they have some leaders on the pitch like Dunk, but they haven't been in situations really that can come close to where the likes of Fonzie and even Jonathan David this year, man. And pretty much every must-win game for Lille come the end of the season. And even Besiktas. But there will be leaders on both, man. It'll be pretty excited. I'm excited to see it. I hope you guys are excited. Drop the like button. We're about a couple minutes away from showtime. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little excited. And it should be fun, man. We got a super chat, though, from Jeremy, who says, "Go Canada." Thanks so much for the donation, my man. I appreciate it. Jeremy, let me know where you're... I'm assuming you're watching from Canada. But if you want to let me know where you're watching from, I will read it out to the chat here. What's up, Josh? Not much, my man. How you doing? GG's in the chat. A lot of nice people in the chat today, guys. A lot of nice people in the chat. The Suriname people were very nice to me. Very nice to me over on JD's channel. I tried to be as genuine as I could about comparing it. I do truthfully think that Canada is the favorites, as they should be. I think that hopefully they will walk out with a win today, but it's going to be interesting, man. Joseph says, "Everyone like this stream." That would be very much appreciated. Anyone who wants to subscribe to the channel is also appreciated. We got a goal here to help Canada and help soccer grow in this country, and it starts with the national team, guys. So seeing the support already on the chat means a lot to me. It means a lot to this country. And I'm excited to hopefully see a big result for the Canadians today, guys. I don't want to cry. I'm not a good crier in public, so it could be embarrassing. What would you do if David went to Dortmund plus cash for Holland? Well, I don't think Lille can afford Holland, my man. But if you're saying what would I do if David went to Dortmund, I would cry in happiness, because that would just be perfect. Also a Bayern fan. I still like your channel. I appreciate it, my man. From Edmonton, "I support Galatasaray. I love Dunk, but go Canada, go." Very interesting, my man. That's very cool. I used to go to school with someone whose dad was pretty high up. They're from Turkey, and his dad had a stake in Galatasaray, so that's very cool. Canada will win just because. Couldn't said it any better myself, my guy. Think Canada will win. Too much attacking and a solid presence in the midfield. It is true, man. When we're looking at these teams, it's very interesting to see the way that they lined up, because without a doubt, this Suriname squad has a stronger defense than the Canadian squad does. They got some good players playing in some good leagues around the world. The Canadian squad is a little bit all over the place, especially when you look at the center back position. We're hoping enough, obviously, we'll be able to control that and get the ball in the midfield, but I mean, Eustáquio to me is a player that I'm going to be keeping an eye on for a long time now. I think his progression in Portugal has been exceptional. The fact that he's been linked to some of the likes of Porto to Napoli is fantastic, man. It's showing the caliber that we have in some of these players on this squad, and I think he's going to be very important for today's game. We're gaining a few subscribers left, right, and center. I see them pop up on the screen, so anyone who did subscribe, thank you guys so much. It means a lot. And of course, obviously the super chats that we've got have been very, very nice as well. It's showtime though, guys. It is showtime. Thank you guys for all the love. A lot of subscribers coming in. Hopefully we'll keep this going. We got some cool content coming up in the future around the Canadian men's national team, Canadians abroad. But this is the biggest game for a long time. I know that we've had some good appearances in the Gold Cup. The win against the States doesn't need to be described. It was a massive game as well. But man, this is going to be huge, because this is for a World Cup, man. This is what this program is all about, and it's all about getting to. And it starts right here, guys. Jeremy again with another donation. Jeremy, I appreciate it, my man. From Quebec. Beautiful. I appreciate the donation. It means a lot. Very, very cool. U.S. has made 10 World Cups and made it to the semis, quarters, while Canada has made 1 and lost 3 and didn't score a goal. Embarrassing. AW. Yes. I mean, yes, that's true. I mean, the Canadian men's national team. Kickoff has started, though, guys, by the way. Been waiting all week for this. All week for this. I am very nervous. We're getting subscribers, though, like crazy, guys, and I really appreciate it. It's been a dream of mine to do something like this with the Canadians national team. The support means a lot. So let's get it together, guys. It is time. It is game time. And kickoff has started, and I am a little bit nervous. There are so many toxic fans from Suriname. I've seen a lot of good ones. I've seen some of the Suriname fans have been a little critical, saying that they're going to wipe the floor with Canada. I don't think that's the case, clearly. But I do think it's going to be a good game nonetheless. Kelly, how you doing, my friend? Welcome. Suriname will win because of Haps. It's a tough toll to put on your left back, my man. Matty D with the donation says, thoughts on Tomori potentially representing Canada. Matty D, we're going to have an episode coming out in a couple days of talking about the new FIFA rule change and talking about the potential switches of different players around the world to CONCACAF nations. If Canada somehow was able to get Tomori to represent Canada, it would be massive, man. He's exactly the player that we need. I can't get over it enough. But we gained another subscriber. Ben, thank you, my man. If you guys are new to the chat, we are getting a lot of subscribers. It does mean a lot. We appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button, and let's cheer on the boys today. But yes, I mean, if I had one dream, man, it would get Tomori here. What the caliber of footballer he is would just be light and day for this Canada squad. The reason I think that we do have a chance to get Tomori, and I am obviously a little bit biased being Canadian, but the fact that he got snubbed from the Euros, the fact that now he's going to get bought by AC Milan, it matters. A lot of the English players play in the Premier League. It's kind of obviously a very thought of league to play in the Premier League, to play for the English squad. The fact that I think that he's going to hopefully sign permanently for AC Milan, he got snubbed from the Euros. Poor pass. Hopefully it will bring in the potential to open this up. And the biggest thing is that he'll be able to represent Canada at least the 2026 World Cup. So, beautiful touch there by Davies, man. It does look like our boy Andrew was right in a 3-5-2, but Fonzie is flying all over the pitch already. You can tell just the cut of class that he has. It made me nervous having him on the left wing back role, because I thought it would maybe cut into some of the things that makes him Davies. But he's clearly going centrally. He's going to be having hopefully a run at a lot of players today, and it should be pretty fun to see. Can you review all the oppositions regarding where Canada can watch the game? If you guys are looking to watch the stream, One Soccer is your place to go. You'll need a subscription to do so, but there's a lot of good content over on One Soccer. Obviously, everything Canadian national team, the Canadian Premier League, and one of the things that I really like is you get to watch Jonathan David all year for Lille. So, guys, serious, Suriname will win. The end. Greetings from Amsterdam. Little confident. I like it. There's a lot of Suriname supporters in the chat today. Jason asked if I'm half German. So my grandparents and my parents and myself were born in Canada, so I'm very Canadian. But my biggest background comes from Germany. My great grandfather was born in Germany, which is what brought me to liking Dortmund. But yeah, Tomori can still be Canada. Yes, he can. As far as I have it to understand. Maybe you guys can elaborate a little bit in the chat as well. There's a new FIFA rule change, and I believe if you're under a certain age, you can have a one-time switch. And I believe Tomori is eligible for that to represent Canada if he chooses to. But it's a one-time switch. But we'll be doing a video on it. But it would be massive. Davies, you can just go through the entire defense in seconds. Yes, he can, man. Yes, he can. Jeremy asks, yes, can Tomori still play for Canada? And I believe he can, man. I believe he can. I don't know if he will, but I believe if he still wanted to represent Canada, I believe he could. But we're gonna do a video on it. So if you guys are looking forward to maybe seeing that video, subscribe. A lot of you new subscribers are coming in, man. I really appreciate it. And hopefully, if you guys aren't able to watch the game, I can commentate it, obviously, a little bit for you. And there's a live ticker up in the corner. But it's a bit of a positive start for the Canadians. Davies will sizzle through the Suriname defense like 100 times. You can already tell with the caliber of player that Davies is, man. He's gonna be drifting in. We are lined up in the 3-5-2 right now. Davies is out on the left wing back spot, but in my opinion, he's going to be cutting in as much as he possibly can. You're going to want to get the ball to Davies and see what kind of magic he can do. What happens if Jonathan David goes to a bigger club than Lille? Then no David on Lille on One Soccer. Jason, that's very, very funny. That's a good point. And if you guys who do follow Lille probably know that they are going through a little bit of a cash problem themselves. They are probably going to lose their manager. They've lost their keeper. They're going to lose probably a winger and probably a central midfielder. David may look to potentially move on. I don't know. I think the fact that he's comfortable with the league, he's got the ability to play in the Champions League. I think that he'll probably stay another season. But I mean, if he wants to come to Dortmund, I'll beg it. What are you watching this on? I am watching on One Soccer, my man. Davies just got hammered, though, in the chest. He's looking like he's gonna be okay, though. Hope Davies becomes a playmaker today. I think he will. I think he will. The reason when we did a combined 11 of the Suriname squad and the Canada squad, and it was a lot closer than a lot of people probably would think it would be, just because of the solid defenders on this Suriname squad. But the caliber between David, Davies, Laren from some of the Suriname players is massive, which is why I believe that these players will hopefully have a massive game today. And kind of show the cut of class that they are above some of the Suriname players today. But it's a good ball there by Kennedy. Beautiful ball. Finds Osorio. Canada, my man, how you doing? I'm very curious to see how Scott Kennedy does today too, because looking at this national team, if we're looking at the weakness, like I said, we know exactly what it is. Oh, good little shot there by Laren. Very, very easy, man. But, oh, that was a good pass. Good pass by Eustachio. Tomori with Canada would be amazing. It would be crucial. When I said, talking about the center back position is clearly the weakness, and we need to find a way to develop talent and get some bodies in that position. We got some young players coming up. That's why I'm very curious to see how Scott Kennedy does there today. Our first time seeing him really in this uniform. He's had a lot of good words talked about him, so I'm pretty excited to see how he does. But if we had Tomori come in, it would completely revitalize the back four, man. You have someone who is just a fantastic footballer, playing for AC Milan, doing it week in, week out. Bringing him into this Canada squad would totally change the complexion. But again, you guys are killing it with the subs, guys. I really appreciate it. Be sure to drop a like if you're new to the chat, and let me know where you guys are watching from today. Very curious. There's a lot of people from all over the world, which I think is pretty cool considering kind of, you know, it's Canada. I wasn't sure exactly where you guys would be watching from, but it's a do or die situation. And this is also another good look at what Herdman's best 11 would look like. It does obviously look a little different than what I thought it was going to. I thought he'd find a way to get Wotherspoon in the starting 11. I thought he'd look really good in this red kit of ours. But he decided to go with Osorio, and I mean, Osorio is obviously a solid central midfielder. I think Wotherspoon brings a little bit more of attacking flair. I really like some of the games that he's had for the Canadian men's national team so far. It's a very sloppy ball there by Eustachio, though. I'm Canadian, just got back from Suriname. The team was at the Marriott Hotel with us. That is very sweet, man. I have to say that they are nice. Go Suriname from Canada. Very interesting. Very interesting. Obviously, we're going for Canada, but I mean, we got some Suriname love in the channel. Absolutely nothing says Suriname will have to injure both David and Davies without red cards to win. I'm hoping. I mean, if you guys watch them come on the pitch in the Aruba game, it was a very sloppy opening 25 to 30 minutes, in my opinion, in that Aruba game. Obviously, the Canadians were still much better quality squad than Aruba was. They weren't going to have too much issues with it, but the interesting thing is the complexion change when you saw someone like Davies come on the pitch and just kind of bring that winning mentality, bring that calmness and that control. And if you remember the goal that Davies scored, David did so well just to create space for him, have that overlapping run, perfect little through ball, and Davies hit it home. But I am understanding why you Suriname fans call him Baby Tank. He is built like a little tank. He just drew a foul though, so a set piece defending is gonna come in now. I'm 6'3", 235. I could slot into CV. Good man, James. Good man. I'm definitely not 6'3", but I respect it. I'm from Honduras, but I'm going for the Canadian team. Very cool, my man. Very cool. Winner will obviously have a date with Haiti, but for those of you guys who don't know, which you guys probably do, a draw is good enough for the Canadian men's national team today. If we did happen to draw, we would go through on goal differential. But I don't think we should play for a draw. I think that would be very scary. It's a good save there by Borjan and kicks it out for a corner. 10 minutes in. Jason says, I'm from Cambridge, Ontario. I went to school at Conestoga, my man, so I know exactly where that is. Can Chris Dante still play for Canada? I don't believe Chris Dante could. He obviously would have been a dream. I think it had something to do with the caps as well. Nicely defended there. I believe Chris Dante has too many caps for Italy, but again, I don't know the full details. I was just told that Tamori could, Chris Dante couldn't. But we will be doing a video of it. It should be pretty fun. 2-1 for Suriname. 2-1 for... from Toronto, 2-1 for Canada. Let's get to 100 likes. I don't know how many likes we're at now, but if you want to get us to 100, guys, much love. Gained a lot of new subscribers today. A lot of love for the Canucks here. But yeah, drop a like if you guys are new to the stream. A sub as well is always appreciated. Very good defensive work there by Piet, though. Oh. Oh my god. Okay, Suriname just ripped one bar down. That was an absolute rocket. It shows that they got some danger, man. This Canadian team needs to be very, very careful. I didn't look like it obviously went in. I mean, I'm sure they would have signaled for it. It was a beautiful, beautiful shot. Bar down and another corner. This Suriname attack is causing this defense a little bit of trouble. Borjan is telling everyone to calm down. A little worrying minutes in the opening 12. Our big guys besides really David's been a little bit quiet, but that was an absolute bullet. That would have been a beautiful, beautiful goal. Hit it on what it looks like a little bit on the outside of the foot. Holy. Whew. Watching from Montreal. Jeremy says 11 caps for Chris Dante. And I'm not sure exactly what the number is. I was told that's kind of what it was. Borjan did very well there. And blasted over the net. Worrying minutes, man. Worrying minutes in the opening 13. Suriname's kind of put my heart in there, man. Holy. Canada very sloppy. Suriname is no joke. They're showing that. Some of the big boys of this Canadian squad need to step up. There's going to be some big nerves coming on this game. There's a lot riding on it. But very, very sloppy. Unmarked at the top of the box. We got off one lucky, man. We got one off lucky there. The Brazil match is also going on right now. We're getting an update. I believe someone said it's 1-0. But here comes our boy, Jonathan David. Come on, baby. A couple other new subscribers to the channel. We appreciate it, my friend. Catalina's here as well. You made my heart stop for a second. It was man, it was a bullet. It was sort of sloppy from Canada. The marking wasn't good. Kind of fell to the top of the box, and then an absolute rocket. But we got lucky. Sometimes that's what you need, and that's what you want to look for right there. An overlapping run from Davies. Finds Osorio to Eustachio. Does very well to keep the ball in. No, he doesn't. Gave it away. I think the first goal of the game is going to be a very important thing. I think both of these teams, after the very easy groups that they've had, haven't had to really worry about some of the pressing games, some of the actually having to fight back. I think whoever scores this first goal of this match is going to put a lot of stress on the other team. And I'm pretty nervous considering that Suriname already put one off the crossbar. Canadians underestimate Suriname too much. Have some respect, guys. I'm telling 8-0 for Canada, be real. To be fair, some people have said vice versa. 4-0, 5-0 for Suriname. I've put nothing but respect on the Suriname squad. They have a good squad, and they're showing it early, man. 15 minutes in this game. Suriname clearly with the better chances. Borjan is going to have to calm from the back. Try to get a little bit of this play to break up. It is some scary stuff, man. Little ball into the box, another corner. Suriname's already had a few set pieces as well, which is scary considering that the weak part of this squad is coming from the back, coming from the back line. Suriname playing like prime Burley. Yeah. Did you hear about the La Liga TV rights going to TSN for the upcoming season because of the minority partner TSN bought the TV rights? I did not hear about that. That is unreal. If we got La Liga on TSN, that would be massive. It'd be probably even more important for Eustachio to make maybe a jump over to a La Liga side for a little bit more exposure on Canadian television. Because right now I know he's been linked to Napoli, which could have been a good look because of DAZN. But, I mean, obviously you want to watch our Canadian players. It's why the partnership with One Soccer and Lille came about. But it's getting a little nerve-wracking seeing Davies sometimes being isolated out on that left wing-back spot. And Eustachio's been relatively sloppy early on in this game, which I just don't know. I don't know if I like this this 3-5-2 look early on. But that's a beautiful ball there to Jonathan David if that's onside. Hit it home, baby. God. Oh, it was a beautiful ball to put David through. And that's what they have to do. You got the off runs of the shoulder from Jonathan David, a perfect run. Couldn't put the finish home, and then another shot came and hit the post. God. I thought Canada were easily going to win this. No, this Suriname squad is definitely stronger than they look. I don't think this is gonna be an easy game at all. Looking at a couple of the collabs that we did and taking a look at some of the predictions, a lot of them were going to the 2-1 kind of games, 3-2 kind of games. There's been two huge opportunities in this game so far. Suriname putting one off the crossbar, and of course Canada just having a beautiful opportunity there through David, the person that you want the ball to fall through to. And Han made a good save. Rebound came off the post. I am enjoying a little bit of Henry at center back, though. I think with his experience with this national team, he's bringing a little bit of a calming presence to this center back. He's done very well playing out for the back. It's a nice little look there. But when we break up the play like right now, there's no outlet passes for Davies. He has to calm it down. He has to take it back. They're very well organized, this Suriname squad, but clearly with the running and the passing abilities of Jonathan David, he's creating space for himself, which is appealing on the eyes. Hoping for a clean sheet, 4-0 Canada. I would love that as well, my man. But why is Canada so nervous? This is a massive game for the program and for the sport here in Canada. We cannot go out at this stage in World Cup qualifying. We have to go on. We have to take on Haiti. We have to defeat Haiti. And at the bare minimum, make it to the final stages. Because I do think this team can compete. The back line is scaring me a little bit. But more games that we can get in. Hopefully some exhibition games as well to get some more chemistry with some of these guys. Because this is really like some of the first times these players have played together. Henry, Kennedy, the center back pairing has not played together before. It's a sloppy touch there by Osorio. What you cannot do. But defended very well by Eustachio. But if you guys are new to the channel here, guys, drop a sub. You guys have been doing it all stream long. It is very appreciated. And of course, drop a like. And let me know where you guys are watching from. A lot of you guys have probably heard that question a few times, but this is a beautiful run by Davies. Finds Laren. Go Canada, go. Canada has choked too much in recent World Cup qualifiers. They have, man. And a yellow card comes up right there. A nice set piece opportunity. Larea was taken down. Canada needs some milk. It's an interesting point. Back line is the Achilles. Halftime TV. You were absolutely spot on, my man. You were spot on. That's a tough challenge there on Richie Larea, though. And we're going to have a bit of a set piece situation coming in. Eustachio looks like he's going to be man taking it. I'll sub you out. Watching from Calgary, Alberta. Much love, my man. Appreciate the sub. Are you a Flames fan? I'm watching till the CONCACAF Gold Cup starts. One soccer membership, and to start the one soccer membership. Very smart. I've had it for a while though, man. I had it for a while. A little love for Lil and my boy Jonathan David all year, but there's some good stuff, man, and it's a good way to help this sport grow. But we got a set piece situation coming up. Davies and Eustachio is over it. I'm assuming Davies is gonna take it. It kind of favors that left footer. Thoughts on Corbianu? I used to play soccer with him in Hamilton. No way. I used to play in Hamilton as well. Corbianu was a little bit younger than when I would have played. But I think Corbianu is a fantastic talent, man. Oh, nice play there by Jonathan. By Jonathan David. I think Corbianu is a huge talent, man. He's one for the future. Hopefully he'll get some more reps with Wolverhampton. If not, he may have to go out on loan, get some experience. He needs to play. That's a big thing with Corbianu. Is he didn't get a ton of minutes this year. He played a lot for the Wolves U23 side, which was good, but he needs to make that jump. And I'm assuming if Wolves don't fancy him, they may look to put him out for a loan season. But Canada's starting to build their way back into the game, which is awesome. It was very nerve-wracking minutes there for a little bit. I think they looked a little shaky. The back four was obviously being questioned, but this front three needs to accelerate here. There's been a good chance from Jonathan David, was not taken. Another heartbreaking team to be a fan of. Well, hopefully the Canadians today can break that trend. But yes, I'm a Senators fan, my man. So I feel you in terms of hockey, man. JJD, do you support Canadian Premier League? Not as your favorite club, of course, but like the specific league. Of course I do, man. It's the next step to helping this sport grow in our country. And I've worked with a little bit of the likes of Forge. I've worked with a little bit of the likes of York 9 FC. Talked to some wonderful people over there. Met Tristan Borges, very nice man. And we had season tickets through my old work to be able to go watch Forge. So I watched them quite a bit in their first season. And it's obviously, it's a ways away from the MLS, for example. But you have to start somewhere. It helps when it's supported around the country, and I think it's a good start. And the main thing I really like, I mean, growing some of the players from the grassroots is vitally important, and that's what the Canadian Premier League is got to be hopefully used for. But the big thing is seeing a lot of these Canadians make the trip over to Europe, and it's incredible seeing what some of them have done this season, and they're continuously growing, and it'll be cool to see. Kyle Larin is the king. He is the king, man. I really enjoyed watching him this year for Besiktas. The thing that surprised me is he's a natural number 9. And seeing him kind of be able to play in a 4-1-4-1 formation and be able to play out on the left and right mid / wings was pretty cool to see. But, I mean, I think he will be used more as a number 9. And fun fact, I'm wearing a Forge 9 FC hat, by the way. So, Jason says that Forge 9 is my favorite Canadian Premier League team. It is mine, too. It's the closest one to where I live. And this is a Forge 9 FC hat. I don't know, or a Forge FC hat. I don't know if you can see it or not, but whatever. You can't, I don't know. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. You can see the hammer on there. Jonathan Davies. Canadian Premier League club. Yep. Go Canada, go. I wish TSN cared enough about Canada's soccer. It's a big complaint, man. It is. It's we've done a couple watch-alongs here, watching the Canadians play. It sucks, man. It does suck, some of the broadcasting rights that happen, but I mean, one soccer, it gives you at least some type of easy accessibility to it. A lot of people find that kind of cringy, I guess, is the way they want it to be broadcasted on pretty much all the major Canadian television networks, man. That's where they wanted it. It's a great way to help this country fall in love with this sport. It's a poor pass there by Larin. Thoughts on Jebsen's play for Canada? I think if Jebsen decided to play for Canada, I think that would be huge. I think he's a talented young kid. Had a couple dream starts there for Sheffield United in the Premier League. I think hopefully if he stays with Sheffield, he'll get some minutes in the Championship. It's a good league to learn from, grow from, and yeah, I'd be pretty excited for it. That's a good interception there. Eustachio finds Larin. And that's got to be a foul. Ref says no. And he gives it. U.S. men's national team on top. They are. Let's get 100 likes, please. Appreciate the love in the chat, trying to help our like goal. I appreciate it. It says we're 15 more. I might have read this a while ago, but is the Canadian Premier League a minor league to the MLS? No, it's a separate league in Canada. There's 8 teams in it now, and it's just kind of the first professional league in Canada. Obviously, we have a few Canadian teams in the MLS, Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver, but this is kind of a league of our own, and it's obviously trying to help build it, which is kind of the best strategy that you can do when trying to build players from the grassroots. Do you have DAZN? I do have DAZN. Use it for a lot of other games that I don't get. But I lived in Canada. A bunch of kids I knew loved to play soccer. Don't understand why no one cares. I think it's just gonna keep building, man. That's offside. Like I said, especially with some of the big, the big moments that are gonna happen. I mean, this is a massive game in itself. There's gonna be a couple more. Haiti. On top of that, if we make it to the final stage, will be massive. And the fact that we're guaranteed to have a World Cup in 2026. We got players playing all around Europe. We have our own league now. It's the right steps that are being made, but we do desperately need to win these types of games. We have to be able to move on from here, man. We have to be able to go on to Haiti, get our revenge. This team is good enough. It's just whether they can put it together when it matters on the pitch. How much does the game cost you to watch? On One Soccer, it's a subscription. You get more than just the game. I think it's $79, and you get to watch all the Canadian men's national teams, the Canadian Premier League, Lille, all that fun stuff. But I don't know. It's the only way you can watch your national team, really. So I wasn't in the mood to go for a buffering way to watch it. I heard Quebec won't be funding for 2026, and that Montreal might lose the city status. That would be a shame. That would be a shame. It's a good ball there as well. We got some one soccer knowledge as well there. So it's $74.99 for the year. So I went for the year because there's a lot. There's a lot to watch this year, and it is what it is. Thoughts on Flores? Again, I mean, for this Canadian men's national team, we need to recruit anyone and everyone we can. Especially young, talented players. We absolutely do. If there's any way we can find someone and try to tip their head, and Herdman's done well, man. You got to give him credit where credit's due. He's found a lot of players who could have been on the fence and recruited them to play for our national team. And it's some of the reason why we are looking as strong as we are. And I mean, in my opinion, the more competition, the better. So any Canadian, if you can get them to potentially represent this team, if they're good enough, do it. Flores is obviously an exceptional young player. He's very hyped about, same as Jebson. Hopefully we can recruit both of them. And I just think if the program keeps going and blossoming the way that it can, it'd be a huge potential. I think the back three is building back into the game a little bit better than I thought it was going to. I was a little bit scared at first, seeing the way that the chances were kind of coming in. I still don't know if this is the perfect shape for this Canadian squad. I like Alistair Johnson, in my opinion, more out as a natural right back than I do like him over on a right central back. But what time is it now in Canada? It is 9:35 at night here in Canada. Doesn't it get annoying watching the Bundesliga and watching Bayern win 9 years in a row? I mean, for a Dortmund fan, it's frustrating, but I don't know. They're the club I've loved my whole life, so I can't cheer for anyone else. One of these days I'm gonna be there when they win it. We have a nice partnership with the club as well. For any of you Dortmund fans who out there, we do content with them. Have a cool project we're working on with the club throughout the summer, so it should be pretty cool to put out as well. If 3 host cities from the CONCACAF are in the 2026, does that mean all 3 CONCACAF countries compete for one spot to go to the international playoffs, or 2026? So all three will be automatically qualified for the World Cup. So I don't exactly know how it works. I know Canada, United States, and Mexico will be at the 2026 World Cup. And then I believe one other spot could be up for grabs. It's a shot there from Jonathan David, but with no real mustard behind it. So many of the best soccer players in Canada come from Brampton, especially from the 2000-2004 range, with a lot of them at TFC. I did know that. That is pretty cool. Obviously a good program coming from Brampton. Not too far from where I live. We've played Brampton when I was a kid playing in Hamilton. They pumped us. So I mean, they've always been pretty good. But it's good. I mean, that's where Atiba's from. I believe that's where Laren's from as well. Obviously, different examples from the 2000 to 2004. But it's always showed that they've been able to do it. If the score stays like this, who goes through? Canada. Canada has the goals difference, which is obviously huge. Because if it does end in a draw, we got to go through. But I don't know. I don't know how this thing's going to play out. There's been a couple good chances both ways. A couple scary chances at that. Just gained another subscriber. We appreciate it, my friend. Means a lot. You guys are killing it today, showing that there is some real love for our national team, man. And it's incredible to see. Tomori should play for England. The reason I think that it gives us the potential to not have him play for England is the fact that England kind of snubbed him, man. They did. They completely snubbed him. And I think also the fact that he's not going to be playing in the Premier League anymore is going to have a toll because he's in Italy. They may overlook him even more, and he may want to represent Canada at the World Cup in 2026. I don't know, man. Gio Reyna, the future Dortmund beast. He is, man. He's a beauty. He's a beauty. You guys are killing it today with the likes as well. It's much appreciated. We're 32 minutes in this one. It is a little nerve-wracking. I like how JJD is also showing the rest of the qualifying matches. Well, if TSN isn't, I mean, we will. I am Suriname. There's a lot of Suriname people coming in. Welcome, my friends. It's a pretty even match so far. There's been a couple nerve-wracking moments early on, but all in all, it's been relatively even. I would like to get the ball a little bit more to Davies' feet. I feel like Suriname's doing well to kind of push him out to the wings, where as a wingback could be a little interesting. Nah, Suriname has a strong team coming from a Canadian fan. They do. They absolutely do. This is the strongest game we've had to play so far by some distance. No question about it. Where are you in Canada, broski? I'm near Woodstock, Ontario, if any of you guys know where that is. No, man, come on, Canada from the States. We're finding a little bit of love from the States as well, man. I like it. I like it. I'm calling Jonathan David goal before half. I'm digging the confidence, my man. What'd you do there? Oh, that's funny. Greg, do you speak Dutch? So my name's Josh, not Greg, if that's what you're referring to. I don't. I can only speak English. I know it's embarrassing, but it's all I can speak. Damn, you live in the woods or something? Never heard of Woodstock. It's near London, Ontario, if you're familiar with where London's from. 2-0 Canada from a U.S. men's national team fan. I'm digging it, my man. I'm digging it. Are you still in pain from the 2013 final? Of course I am. I'm honestly mostly in pain from the Bundesliga we blew not that long ago. That is what hit me hard. And honestly, the Haiti match. It's a good ball there. The speed just isn't there from Larea, though. You a good-looking lad. You must be getting a lot of birds. You dropped the A in there. I appreciate that. I'll always take the looks into consideration, but I do have a girlfriend. I do live with her. Her name's Meg. She's chilling over there. But I appreciate that, Gully. You grabbed the self-esteem up a little bit. From Dominican Republic, let's go Canada. We're seeing a lot of Canadian support on here, my man. I'm digging it. Game's been relatively close, but at some point during this match, Suriname is going to have to go for it. Because like I said, a draw puts Canada through. Suriname know that. I mean, they'd probably be both teams would probably be happy going into halftime at a 0-0 scoreline. But I'm just hoping to see Canada get one. I think that would settle a little bit of the nerves, knowing that Suriname would need to. Makes it a little scary. From a U.S. men's national teams fan, I think Canada will get their revenge on Haiti next round. I like it. The U.S. seem to be supporting Canada. I'm digging it. Sometimes, I mean, Hockey World Rivals, beautiful ball there. Oh, it's an excellent, excellent defensive tackle. I believe that was Haps. It's what he can do. It was Haps. It was a beautiful tackle. Meg from Family Guy. Absolutely. Jonathan David is class. Yes, he is, guys. He is class, man. He's, I mean, I want him to go to Dortmund. As you guys can't tell, I'm a huge Dortmund fan. I'm sure you can. You have eyes. So Jonathan David, being Canadian, he's looking for Davies. Oh, he does so well. Yes! Yes, Fonzie! Let's go, baby! That's what we needed. The man is crying. Look at the emotion, man. Let's go. I'm assuming he's crying or he's hurt. But what a ball. Clearly onside. He gets a swing at it, but he takes his shot. Nutmegs the keeper. Davies from David, man. That is what Canadian soccer is right there. Beautiful overlapping one. Oh, he got hit pretty badly in the face as well. And maybe that's what it is. Not crying. I couldn't remember if he was celebrating, but let's go, baby. That is exactly where we needed to be. That is what the class of these players can do on a day like that. Let's see it. Davies' goal. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Aha. He went down. I couldn't tell if the emotion was getting to him. He looked, but he got suckered pretty hard on the cheek. But that's a perfect time to score this goal, man. 37 minutes in. King Canada, baby. Let's get it. Guys, drop a like for our boy Alphonso Davies. Subscribe if you're new. We gotta do it. You guys are killing it. But that's exactly what the kind of quality you can find, and it's not a coincidence that comes from the big two. I don't think this game has been dominated by either or. The Canada have certainly had their chances, as has Suriname. But in certain situations, why I thought there'd be a difference between Canada and Suriname is because players like David and Davies can do this type of thing. David created space, created time, looking for the overlapping run. And Davies was a step behind, man. He just has that ability to find a way through, get it shot, perfect, composed finish. And Canada's up 1-0, man, in one of the biggest games we've played for a long time. Let's get it, baby. Perfect timing. Davies the savior. Alphonso Davies scored. We got some Bayern fans in there on the channel. They'll appreciate that. Davies and David, best duo in Canadian history. I mean, in my opinion, yes. But I mean, they're very early on. They're gonna have to do a lot more to be able to prove it. But I mean, just pure quality over Canadians' history, man. There hasn't been much better than the duo of Davies and David, man. It's a joy to have them on our side, and it's very, very cool, man. It's very cool to see. It was a weird time to go down, but it's such a crucial goal, man. Such a crucial goal. 5 minutes to half. There is a bit of a break going on. What do you think about the new crop of talent in the U.S.? It's scary, my man. It's scary. The U.S. are going to be a powerhouse for a while now, man. I think arguably they got a more talented pool than Mexico has, and it is scary. We saw that they just took down the Mexican national team in what was one of the most entertaining games you'll see in a while. They scare me, but I'm just happy to see some success with this Canadian squad, man. I absolutely am. And that puts us exactly where we want us right now going into, hopefully, halftime. Lots of Suriname fans saying that they'll whip Canada so hard and started insulting Canada. Yeah, there was a little bit of hate thrown back and forth. De Rosario was a baller. De Rosario was my first Canadian guy. Anytime someone just asked me if you played FIFA, I do. Back in the day, I used to play it all the time, and Dwayne De Rosario used to make that budget purchase to join my my Chelsea, my Dortmunds, my Barcelona squads back in the day, just because he was really the only high-rated Canadian player. But yeah, I mean, it's cool seeing a lot of this crop of talent come through, and there's been a good break now for about 3 minutes. Davies is up, which is obviously huge for us. It looks like a Suriname player took a knock as well. Don't get injured, Davies. If Davies got injured, yes, that would put some terrifying news on for our boys here. But Tomori needs to be in the Canadians national team. I really think that he could, man. I really think that he could. I think that if he decides to make that switch, like I said, he's guaranteed a World Cup. He's guaranteed to start for his national team each and every day. He would be a savior for this squad. Our center back is by far our biggest weakness. It's scary to see, but I don't know, man. That's a huge goal right now. I'm excited for it, and hopefully we can carry this thing on. You play us in the Gold Cup. We do. It'll be an exciting game when Canada takes on the States, man. It absolutely will. We beat them once, man, and I think this team's better than it was when we beat them. But obviously they came back and took us down 4-1. So I think it'll be a good match as well. It'll depend on how this Canadian squad can handle the defensive situations, because I mean, they got some pretty solid defenders, man. Like Des is a good one coming up. Robinson as well. Brooks has been there, done that. Makes me a little nervous seeing the likes of Pulisic and Reyna coming at our back line, but we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. Hey, great job. Let's go, Canada. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it, my man. It's a good ball there, but little overhit. Were you old enough to see the 2000 Gold Cup win, or are you sad that you missed it? I was not old enough. I mean, I was 4 at the time, but wasn't watching it, didn't know anything about it. Probably didn't even realize we won it until I started following the game a little bit more in-depthly a few years later, but am familiar with a lot of the players that were on that squad and have met a couple of them. Jimmy Brennan as well. Met him when I was doing some things with York 9 FC, which was cool. Well, to be honest, US should be better than Mexico with 3 times the population. Yeah, the States have 336 million people. They should be a powerhouse. But they are starting to make those proper strides, and I think we might have tactical manager coming on here at halftime. I'm not sure where that conversation led to. Zorio just picked up a little knock right there. Feels so great to have a football star in our own team. Absolutely, man. Absolutely it does. It's the reason this sport will take off. I mean, one of the biggest ways to gain attention is to find these players and have them be successful in Europe. And we've had someone who's now won it all. It's incredible. And hopefully Jonathan David can make a step. Hopefully even Alistair Johnson can one day. I'm not going to say he's going to play at quite the level of Davies, but hopefully he can make that step to a West Ham, for example, or Wolves. He's good enough. Richie Laryea has been linked to Besiktas. I mean, that Canadian connection is definitely there. But I'm excited for the Gold Cup, guys. Hope you guys are as well. Should be pretty fun. Cool stream. Big ups. Welcome, my man. I got a buddy who lives there. Best defender ever. Our boy David. You guys are killing it, though, man. We're getting a lot of new subscribers, and it's really appreciated. A lot of likes on the stream today as well. Nice cut up there by David. It's just gonna keep helping, man, this beautiful sport grow in our country, and I'm excited for it. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content here. You can subscribe if you're new. Come up with ideas with me and talk about our national team, man. It's a lot of fun. Gully says Canada better than the US at the end of the day. I don't know if I'd go quite that far, my man. Who's the guy with the TFC Academy? European clubs are looking at him. I'm assuming you mean the center back. I'm not fully sure. You have to give me a name, my friend. I saw you at the show with Dominic Rich. My dad is from St. Vincent. I'm born in Canada. I wasn't at a show with Dominic Rich. Was not me. Maybe it was someone who looked like me, but was not me. But your dad is from St. Vincent, and you're born in Canada. Very cool. We're in the 45th minute now, right now. Did we talk to Tactical Manager? Is he coming on or no? All right. So we may have... I'm not sure. Okay. You asked him to come on?
Yeah, so if you want to join me more than welcome.
Nice, nice. We're trying to get Adrian from Rabona TV to pop on. He's a busy man. He's a busy man. If he has the time, he may pop on. Those of you guys who don't know who Rabona TV is, he's the GOAT of Canadian YouTube content. So I mean, we've done some collabs with him before. So I was trying to persuade him to get on here, but he may not. Tactical Manager also may or may not. Tactical Manager is a U.S. men's national team channel. Done some wonderful things over there, and I'm curious to see what his insight on this game would be. I think he's over on JD's channel right now, but some of the U.S. fans in here will probably recognize our boy. Were you not on his channel as a guest? I was not on his channel as a guest. No, I was not. Have not reached out to him, but I mean, maybe I will now. Gave me an idea. He covers a lot of this kind of content. Gold Cup starts 10th of July. Yes, it does, man. Yes, it does. And I'm excited. The Gold Cup is going to be very interesting because, as you guys are pointing out, U.S. is bringing their B team. Now, Mexico is obviously going to be scary. I'm not sure exactly how strong of a squad that they're going to bring. I'm fairly confident this Canadian squad is going to bring a lot of their good players. And it's going to be pretty excited to see, man, because it's an opportunity for us to go for some silverware, especially depending on what that Mexico or U.S. team looks like. The Jamaica team scares me a little bit as well. They're recruiting pretty well as well. But, I mean, I don't know. It's very cool, man. I'm growing up in this country. It just hasn't really been a big... opportunity to have people kind of get around our national team, and I'm hoping to be a part of it, and the reason why we get on it now, and hopefully you guys are digging it, and we'll have some cool content around our national team coming up. I don't think Canada has ever won a Gold Cup, but Mexico has won. Canada has won a Gold Cup. We won the 2000 Gold Cup. Beat Colombia in the finals. And Jimmy Brennan was on that team. I was bugging him about it. I was talking to him. What's the Canadian guy's YouTube? Rabona TV is his YouTube. Huge YouTuber. He's Canadian. He covers the majority of football. Very talented. Lucky enough to have him on our channel a couple times. But that is halftime, ladies and gentlemen. That is halftime. Canada is up 1-0. It's good to see. It's good to see. What were your guys' thoughts on that first half? My mistake, I remember it now. It was JJD TV talking to JD TV. Very interesting. But Canada won the 2000 Gold Cup. Yes, they did. Mexico is overrated. Well, drop a like for that. I'm sure you guys would like that. U.S. men's national team squad in the Gold Cup is trash. And that gives us a little bit of confidence, man. But this was a pretty good first half, man. There's not too much you can go too wrong with it. I mean, we looked a little iffy when it started. I wasn't sure exactly the way that this game was going to go, especially with that opening bullet of a shot that could have easily went, I mean, honestly, bar down. But we able to ride the wave a little bit. We built our way back into the game, and then just having the pure talent of Jonathan David and Davies, man, it made for a beautiful, beautiful goal. Puts us in a comfortable position, and now they need two. They need two to be able to turn this thing around. And hopefully we'll be able to shut this thing down for the next half here. Don't be worried, mate. The U.S. only get better because they can't produce their own talent and they send them abroad. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that's necessarily true. I think the MLS has been a good stature for them, and they've done some successful things abroad as well. Canada have some huge potential. They absolutely do. And we're finding a lot of success around here, and the support on the channel right now has been absolutely fantastic, and we are in a healthy position, guys. Gold Cup is basically CONCACAF version of the Euros. Yep. Pretty much. Michael Bradley is playing, for God's sake. Michael Bradley is going to be in the U.S. Gold Cup. That's very interesting, man. Very interesting. I think Suriname can still catch up. Oh, yeah, this game's far from over, man. There's still 45 minutes to play. Canada did what they had to do. You can't complain much. Yeah, Canada won 2 Gold Cups. I forgot about that. They won in '85 as well. Oh, wait. Canada did win two World Cups. I was obviously not born in the first one. Yes, Davies is such a wonder kid. I love that guy. It's incredible to see, man. Someone from that talent came from Canada. And I think that's been a real reason why some of the hope and some of the progression in this Canadian system has worked, because they've seen the success that he's brought. And there's other players obviously as well that are bringing this kind of stuff up, and it's pretty cool to say, man. Are you trying to start a war? What made you a Dortmund fan? My family background comes from Germany. When I played video games as a kid, I did a career mode. Went to Germany, found Dortmund, liked their logo, and that's it. I had no soccer, just football influence on my life. So kind of everything I found kind of became my own. Had to do it myself. Kind of worrying, not gonna lie, if Davies gets injured, Canada would drop out from being the top 10 CONCACAF team, which is bad. I mean, it could be a fair statement, but I mean, it's an interesting way to look at it. It's no different than, I mean, not saying that Pulisic is that important. Davies is a lot more important to us than Pulisic is to him. But I mean, let's just hope he stays safe. That kind of stuff doesn't happen. And I still think we'd be higher than top 10, even without Davies. But he is so valuable to this team. Bradley isn't going to play for the U.S. men's national team. Berhalter already moved on from him and Josie. I'd like to see Tactical's look on his face if Josie Altidore was playing for the States. Interesting, I started watching because that's the only sport 8 guys can play. I'm 5'8", my man, that's funny. Right on the right thing. I played hockey too. I'm not gonna lie, but hope Canada qualifies. I do as well, my man. I do as well. And we put ourselves in a perfect position. It's going to be very interesting to see now that Suriname know that they really need to go for it. They're going to be putting a lot of pressure on this back line, and it's gonna put some real question marks to see what they can kind of do and if they're gonna change their shape at all. I probably wouldn't now, knowing that we have that real good, basically 2-goal lead, sort of, in a way. They need to score 2 to be able to kind of take it over. But we did exactly the right things we need to do in that first half. The goal was beautiful. Showing it again right now. It's a beautiful weighted ball from David. Nice timed run for Davies. Cuts across the defender. Takes the ball pretty much from him. Relatively poor defending. And then the composure to slot it through. It's a nice looking goal. And it puts us in a good position, man. Do you think Canada has a chance at qualifying for the World Cup? I do. I do think there's a chance, man. If I'm looking at probably the top 3... You're looking at the United States, you're looking at Mexico, and probably Jamaica. Jamaica's a little bit more well-rounded. We have a lot of talent up front, clearly. Depending on what we can do with the back 4 and how John Herdman can get this kind of team playing. I mean, Costa Rica is an older team, man. They don't have that same kind of pedigree that they once did. They don't have any real big players playing anywhere besides really Keylor Navas, who's their keeper. But, yeah, I don't know. I think that there's a huge opportunity we can. We both are going to the World Cup. Come on, friends from the north. There we go. It's a good way of looking at it. So much for total football, eh? Canada has been dominating possession. Yeah, I mean, I had a feeling that the way that the game was going to set up was Canada was going to get the ball to their big hitters. They were going to play with it. They got a better midfield. And Suriname, I thought, was going to line up with the back 3, have wing backs, have the pace to break, and just kind of hope to defend and hit on the counter with that pace. JD told me that's not really how that they play, with the Dutch way that they kind of wanted to take the game to us. Didn't really happen in this game, in my opinion, man. They haven't really done that so far, which is obviously the reason that this Canadian squad is walking away with the 1-0 lead right now, but it's definitely far from over. They're going to be putting a lot more pressure on us, and I want to see the way that this back line can do, because it can definitely bend, but as long as it doesn't break, we're going to be heading to a date with Haiti, man. What about Costa Rica? I think Costa Rica's strong. They're well-rounded. They play a different way of football. Very hard, very competitive. When you look at that squad, there's no real names that stand out besides Keylor Navas. And again, he's a keeper. I think on paper, we have a stronger team than Costa Rica. But, you know, we'll have to see. Liam Bailey and Antonio will be dangerous. Yes, they will, man. Yes, they will. They're good players, and the Jamaicans are recruiting a lot of young English talent. They have a good squad. They're definitely not one to be taken lightly. They know that. I'm excited for the Gold Cup. The Gold Cup is going to be a lot of fun. I think this Canadian squad can do something in it, especially with the Mexico and potential states bringing their B squads. Really opens it up. You should stream FIFA. Maybe, man. If I get some more time, I can maybe look into doing something like that. Do you think the fact that Borjan is the captain shows that we don't have too much international outfield experience? Most capped is maybe Piet. Piet, yeah, I mean, if I thought that Piet was starting today, maybe was going to wear the armband. I absolutely agree. I mean, Atiba Hutchinson with his age, his presence, being 38 years old, doing everything he brings to this squad, playing as that real beautiful number 6 that you'd like to see him play. He brings so much to this team. He does it at club level. He does it at this club level. He's a real organizer. And without him in this lineup, it really scared me. And Piet was definitely the one who had to step up and be that vocal presence in a defensive way. We don't really have another outlet that can play that kind of number 6 role without Atiba there. So I absolutely agree. If there's someone to wear the armband who have to lead from the back, Borjan has the most experience to do it if you didn't want to give it to Piet. But it is something that is concerning. And if there was another position to kind of looking to develop, knowing that Atiba's going out, it would be another number 6. I think Eustachio is going to be one for the future in controlling this midfield. Very excited for him. Very excited to see what he brings. But in the meantime, Piet and Osorio are going to have to step up when needed. Witherspoon is obviously going to be vital from the bench as well. But it's an excellent point, and I do think it speaks volumes to the fact that Borjan is wearing the captain's armband, because again, the center back position isn't really one with a leadership role there, and without Atiba, you can argue Piet, but Borjan probably is the one. I think Canada will make it itself a great step forward, and for the first time since '98, qualifying for the World Cup would be an amazing improvement. It would be. It'd be a lot cooler to qualify for the 2022 one than it would be for just the automatic promotion, or the automatic one that we're going to get in 2026. I do think this team can do it. A lot of people aren't convinced on Herdman. We have a comment from our boy Rio who says that Canada need a better coach. England would be beating Suriname 6-0. I don't think that's totally fair. Looking at the Canadian Soccer Association's budget, man, they're not going to replace Herdman, I don't think, anytime really soon. I think Herdman's the best of what we can do right now. He's learning. He's getting better. A lot of people like him. A lot of people kind of question him. I think this summer is going to be huge to kind of show exactly what kind of manager he's going to be for this squad and how he's going to take them forward. Costa Rica, they haven't really replaced their previous generation and have no future. It's kind of the way I look at it as well. For the World Cup in 2026, there will be 48 teams, bigger chance. Most 25% of the countries will be there. That's wild, man. I forgot it was growing that much. We might watch Wes Morgan chasing Alphonso Davies at the Gold Cup, but he's sadly retired. Does Antonio play for Jamaica? Yes, he does. Where's Lucas Cavallini? Cavallini's on the bench today. He did not make the starting 11. I had a feeling he probably wouldn't. The interesting thing, though, about him is that he is a lethal goal scorer for this Canadian men's national team squad, man. He's done such a wonderful job. I thought maybe, if anything, they could have maybe started him as a striker and put Larin on the wing, but I just don't think they wanted to do that. They wanted to have the two strikers, the tandem up front. They got David, they got Larin. You can't really argue that. Will Davies go to the Gold Cup? I am thinking that I'm assuming that we're going to send our best squad to the Gold Cup, man. I truly do. Croatian TV says it looks like Canada is poorly coached. The biggest question mark, in my opinion, besides the defense, is the management of the Canadian men's national team. But again, when it comes to the budget, you're not going to find a better manager right now than Herdman. And I think that he can be shaky from time to time. The opening 25-ish minutes in this game were questionable, but he found a way. The team is up 1-0, and he's got a lot to prove, and I'm excited to see it. Yes, I've heard of Juan Matuka's real name, which I think is very funny. I like Cavallini. I like Cavallini too. I do. But I just don't see a way that you can get Larin and David and Cavallini on the pitch unless you play in a 4-4-2 and you have Larin on the right mid and you have Davies on the left mid. But that's not really Larin's strong suit. He does play for Besiktas, which makes it an option. But we'll have to see. I predicted 2-0 Canada. What's your prediction? I predicted 3-1 Canada was my prediction. But the way that the game's going, I'm hoping that it can be a little tighter at the back for this Canadian squad, man. I do. It's a little nerve-wracking. We'll have to see. Do you think Canada can beat Jamaica? Oh, man. That's a tough question. That is a tough question. It depends. Like, again, that Jamaica squad is very talented. There's no question about that. They are a good team. They're a solid team. And we're hoping that we can handle them, but I think it's an open. I think that a lot of with the recruitment of these CONCACAF clubs and getting all these new players in, it makes it very curious to see the way that they can play together on the pitch. I do think there's a chance that we can beat them, but I think there's a good chance that they can beat us as well. I don't want to start a war, but USB Canada. Okay. Come on, Tyler. I haven't watched so far. How is Canada looking? From Adam. First 25 minutes, they were looking a little shaky. Very early chance fell to Suriname. They put it off the bar, put it down. It looked like a massive opportunity for them to take the lead. They did not take it. We started to build our way into the game, started to calm down from the back a little bit more. We're playing in the 3-5-2 formation. In my opinion, an ugly formation, but it has kind of worked to its advantages in this game. And Davies did what Davies did. He linked up with David towards the end. David had the patience to wait for that overlapping run. Perfect little through ball into Alfonso, who slid it through the to the wickets of the keeper of Han, and it was a beautiful goal. It really was. And now we have a 1-0 lead, which means that if Suriname want to go through, they need to. Puts us in a good position. I want to know what you guys think, though, guys, going into the second half here. The Italian-Canadian should be on. US just beat Mexico. I think we can handle Canada. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd say right now, US. Someone asked me who's better between the States and Mexico, and I said the winner of that game, in my opinion, will be the best of CONCACAF at this moment. So I say the States are the team to beat, 100%. But would you guys look to the bench? Let me know in the comments what you guys think the proper, I guess, moveset would be for Herdman to do here. Would you keep the current squad? Who's the first sub that you're potentially looking to bring on? MD says Davies is clap, my man. He is, guys. Second half is underway. We got 45 minutes before this Canadian can celebrate, guys. So drop a like if you guys are new around here. Subscribe if you're new. And let's do this thing together, boys. 3-5-2 sounds like a Herdman pulling a Pep in an important game. That's a fair point, man. That's a fair point. I mean, I don't know. I was never a big fan of Herdman's 3-5-2, especially when he used to play Davies a little bit more in the middle. I do like the look of it a little bit more in the 3-5-2, but it's a little interesting. But I think Tactical Manager is going to be joining us soon. For those of you guys who don't know him, U.S. Men's National Team YouTuber, nice buddy of mine. Be a little interesting to see the way that he takes a look on this match as well. Canada looks like a team that could make chaos. I think they could. But, like, it's the beautiful thing about following national teams is the fact that you don't know exactly what you're going to get. Like, obviously, it's not like the England, the Brazil, the Germany's, the big hitters. We have teams that and clubs around the world that have relatively good Canadians and sort of ish average. So when you put them together on this and you see the likes of someone like Davies, like I said, who's won it at the top level, won pretty much everything there is to win, along with the likes of Kennedy, who plays in the second division, makes it a little interesting, man. We buffering? Did we crash?
No.
No? Well, hopefully you guys can see me properly. Alright, kickoff has happened. We're waiting on Tactical Manager, trying to get him in. I'm sorry if there's any buffering there. A little bit buffering for a bit. We're trying to get Tactical in. It's causing problems again. But second half is underway, guys. Drop a like. I think he's in. Whoop. All right, we're going to be joined by Tactical Manager. If you guys want to check out any U.S. men's national team fans, you will know him probably pretty well. But he's in, the buffering is gone, and we will be laughing. Okay. Come on, Suriname. Easy. All right. Tact will be coming in fairly shortly. He spent a little bit of time over on JD's channel. I'm assuming he was cheering the Suriname fans on over there, and he's gonna pretend he was cheering for Canada the whole time while he comes back in here. But we'll get him up on in a couple seconds here. Is he in? Oh, yeah, pop him in. See if I can make sure I can hear him properly. Filippo, can you hear me? You can hear me? Okay, I can hear you. I don't think you're in the stream yet, though. Taylor, just give me a heads up when he's... Oh, you're here? Okay, I think you are in. Filippo, welcome, my man.
I'm here. Hi. How's everyone doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. I introduced them to you. I told them that you are a pretty big YouTuber that covers the U.S. men's national team, and obviously just had a lot of success after taking on the Mexican side. So you were watching over on JD's channel. So do you want to give us your thoughts on the first half, kind of coming from a neutral perspective?
Yeah, it's never neutral. I just cheer for whatever channel I'm at. So since I'm here, I gotta be for Canada. When I'm there, I'm for Suriname. I just gotta put. No, I'm joking. I am neutral. So what I noticed overall in the first half, it was pretty balanced overall. Both teams at the post had good opportunities. The thing I noticed too is Alphonso Davies. He's much better when someone sends him the ball, and that's how he scored the goal. A lot of the times he's holding the ball, and he kind of looks like he's trying to do like a Ronaldinho, Neymar. He looked like Alfonsinho. That's what I was calling him there. And every time he holds the ball, Suriname is bringing a guy to cover. And once they bring a guy to cover for him, he no longer can use his pace and go through. The only time it worked was when he went against Lerdan. I didn't even know Lerdan was playing for Suriname, the right back for Inter Miami. And obviously, any day of the week, Alphonso Davies will destroy Lerdan. So that's what happened. Canada got the 1-0 lead, and Canada should be able to capitalize off that. Now, one thing I would have done if I were Canada is I would have gone for 4-4-2. I would have put Kyle Larin and Jonathan David up top as the two strikers and let Alfonso and maybe Buchanan play wide. Yeah,
I mean, that was when I did my prediction for the starting 11. I thought Herdman would go with the 4-4-2 and play Buchanan because he's done such wonderful things, and have Davies out on the left. I think he was a little nervous having that 4-4-2 against this Suriname squad, and he decided to go with the back three. It's not as pretty of a formation as it could have been, but I definitely take your point about Davies. He was running in a little bit too much in the midfield, and he wasn't really creating much, and you got to use his pace is what he's good at. So I agree with that, man. How's JD doing
the one time he was able to use it, the one time that someone sent him the ball, I didn't see who was the Canadian player that assisted him. He was able to go through, out-muscle, get in and score. But every time he's holding the ball too much, and he's kind of looking like he's trying to be some type of Neymar player, which is not really his game, even though he's technical enough to be so, that's not his game. But yeah, Suriname is putting up a good fight. But the thing is, Canada is also playing for the draw.
Yeah.
So if Canada just counters now, you send Buchanan, that's very pacey, very fast. Put Alphonso on one side, Buchanan on the other one. You can counter, and they should be able to close the deal in this match.
Yeah, I think it was an interesting, obviously, first half, considering the fact, that's a good ball. Can we find him in the middle? No. Yeah, I think it was interesting the way that they approached the game. It looked a little shaky at first. I would like to see a little bit more pace being used on the counters, because I really think that Suriname's going to start pushing forward coming up, and I don't know. I'm very curious to see the way that this back three can kind of handle any type of pressure, because we haven't had to see this Canadian team with a bounce back kind of performance yet, because it's just been so smooth sailing for them.
And no subs for the second half? No subs?
Not yet. I have a feeling Buchanan will come on. Probably Corbianu as well. They asked us in the tactical manager. I will let you take this one on, or second half of this one on. But we were asked, what do you guys think about Theo Corbianu and Buchanan? I'll touch on Corbianu. I'll give Filippo the reins to touch on Buchanan, because I know he is a fan of him. But I mean, I really like Corbianu. Like I said, I think that if he doesn't get minutes at Wolverhampton this season, he needs to go out on loan. minutes playing at a more competitive level than Wolverhampton's U23s will be very important for him. He's a talented winger. I'm hoping to see him on the pitch today, but in terms of him versus Buchanan, I think Buchanan's a little bit ahead of Corbiano, but I'll let tactical manager kind of take on that role.
Well, I'm not going to say who's better than who, but Buchanan he's a complete player, dude. I'm not going to overrate Buchanan, but the thing was, the first time I truly watched Buchanan was last season when Orlando City played New England, and he played as a right back for New England in that match, and he was the one holding off Nani, and he was able to hold off Nani while providing support, and New England defeated Orlando City that match. It was rigged, but it's okay. but yeah, Buchanan had an amazing performance. Then I saw him again on the Olympic qualifying. I watched what was the game that I watched? The one you did live stream here was Canada versus Honduras. Honduras. And Buchanan again impressed me. And then I've been following him this season, and then I started to see him play a little bit more as a winger at times, and then right back. He's solid on defense and very pacey, skilled on offense as well. Played even as a left wing the other day. I was watching New England.
Yep. He reminds me a little bit of Juan Cuadrado.
At times, yes.
Yeah, I mean, similar style. The fact that, he's definitely more, in my opinion, more of an offensive player, but he can do his bit when he needs to as a right back. And I think if I'm looking at a Canadian to make a move, a big move this summer, I'm looking at him. I think he's gonna get the likes. He's been linked to Juve, which I think is funny as a natural Cuadrado replacement.
Oh, he has?
Yeah, he's been linked to a couple big clubs. But here comes Davies.
Ooh.
Oh, nope.
Nope. Honduras football TV is here. I know him.
Are they friends of yours?
Yeah, he comes a lot to the channel, especially the Honduras streams. We already played Honduras twice already. No, we played Honduras twice. Well, we played in the Olympic qualifying. Did we play Honduras? No, it was El Salvador before.
El Salvador. Remember, playing for the draw is the way that we lost to Trinidad. I can't forget that. It's a good point. I mean, Tactical, I'm sure that you could put a little bit more context into that. I'm assuming he's referring to when you guys didn't qualify for the World Cup and you guys were.
I don't think we played for the draw. It's just that we went in believing that we could win, and then I don't know what happened that game, to be honest. It was just a complete crap show. I was trying not to curse. We could have played for the draw, but we didn't really play for the draw, and we lost. So.
Yeah, you guys have come a long way since that squad, though. But a lot of the guys are asking in the chat about the Gold Cup coming up, and do you want to give them kind of a look at maybe what your U.S. team will look like?
Yeah, we don't know for start. We know we're not going to have Pulisic, Dest, Adams, McKennie, Brooks, the main guys. None of them are going. Giovanni Reina's not going. So none of them will be there. So we're going to see a B team, but what I'm wondering is Greg Berhalter, is he going to try to bring the best possible team, or is he going to try to maybe use a lot of young guys and try to prepare them for future qualifiers, prospects? I don't know what Greg Berhalter will do. I don't know also if we'll see like Brendan Harrison, DeAndre Yedlin, those guys might be there. I don't know. So we don't know about the USMNT until we see the roster from Greg Berhalter. All we know is we're not going to have our best. But then again, adding to it, Mexico will not bring their A squad, and Mexico will also have Olympics. So Mexico won't be there with their A squad. So this Gold Cup's a great opportunity for Canada, Jamaica. I don't know, is Alphonso Davies coming for Canada?
As far as I know, I mean, it's not been confirmed, but I'm pretty sure Canada's going to dress a pretty strong squad, especially knowing the fact that the U.S. and Mexico aren't. And I'd hope that they will, and I think Davies would want to do it. But I mean, some of it's got to do as well with Bayern if they would like to do that kind of stuff. But I'm hoping and I'm thinking that he'll be there.
So it's a good opportunity for Canada in that sense, because technically, yeah, if they bring the A squad, USA and Mexico should be the top contenders. They're not bringing it, so it's a good opportunity for Jamaica, Canada, Suriname, all the nations to fight for it. But at the end of the day, we all know the United States is going to win the Gold Cup too.
Now. I don't know. Those are some big hitters, not with your guys' squad, but it's you just gained a sub though. Everyone's asking what was the America guy, tactical manager. So you gained Gully there, tactical.
Let me see.
MD asked what our Euro predictions are.
For Euros?
Yeah.
So I need to do that website. You send me the link. I need to do that website. So without doing the simulation or anything, my number one pick to win is the current champions, Portugal. I like their team a lot. They do have Cristiano to lead the way. I don't even think Cristiano is their best player anymore, but he can still lead the way and still score goals for them. You got a midfield with Bruno Fernandes right there. You got Bernardo Silva. Ruben Neves is there. The defense looks good as well with Ruben Diaz and maybe Fonte or maybe Pepe will be playing there. I don't know who will be, but regardless, two experienced guys, Cancelo. I like the Portuguese team. They play that 4-4-2 diamond. I also like that formation. They're solid in the back. But then again, you can't discount France, right? Can't discount Belgium, even though they choke. All I know is England won't win it.
Yep, and I think that's pretty fair. I'd say, yeah. I'd say France are the favorites. Belgium are the team I picked to win it, just because I didn't want to be, Mr. Basic. But Lele's saying that Canada D is better than USA. So we got a real Canadian supporter here, and we gotta love that. It's gotta bug tactical manager a little bit, but.
No, but the thing is, what is USA B though? That's the thing that he has to think about. So Canada A has players like Alphonso Davies and Jonathan David, which are two players that would start for USA A.
Yep. Those
two players would start. Kyle Larin, debatable, depending on who we have, because we have Gio and Pulisic and then Sargent. So Jonathan David would take the place of Josh Sargent. I can't put Kyle Larin ahead of Gio Reyna or Pulisic. So the USA B team, I think USA B team in Canada, it will be a fair game. It will be very close. The thing is, Canada would have these players like Alfonso and Jonathan David that would be better than every single player in the US men's national team B team. I don't know. I think it would still be fairly balanced.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it'll be fairly balanced, and if some of the big hitters show up and we can defend properly, because that's the biggest thing I'm seeing, and obviously a lot of the comments around social media is just what can this defense do. But when you see Davies right here coming up against a few Suriname players, he needs a little bit more support. But he did so well. Oh, and he gave a foul. But that's what he can do. He can run down the side where he's useful. He just took on two people there, but completely by himself. Put in an absolute bullet, but did very, very well to block it. Did this man just say Bruno Fernandes? Got a little Portuguese in your... He does. He's Brazilian.
I'm from Brazil, so I'll say Bruno Fernandes. That's how you say it.
I've seen that a few times. Most people make fun of me because I pronounce it Fernandez. I don't know. I'm sorry.
But it's Bruno Fernandes, not Fernandez.
Well, they picked up.
He's not Hispanic, guys.
That's funny. They picked up on your Portuguese. But yes, Tactical and I will be doing a cool video soon about kind of the new FIFA change about nationality changes, because Ozzy here just asked, do you think that Tamori will eventually choose to play for Canada over England? And I think that is a very interesting question. I'm excited for us to do the collab on it, because we're going to do a little bit more in-depth research on it. But I mean, I think if Tamori decided to make that leap, it'd be because he got rejected and snubbed from the Euros. He got, that's a good ball to Jonathan David. Let's go!
Whoa.
2-0, baby! Suriname is going home. Let's go.
Yeah,
the two biggest players, man, in this Canadian squad. Both of them scored. Oh, that was gorgeous.
Let me see that finish from Jonathan David.
Beautiful.
Nice, and he's a righty, right? He's a righty.
He took it with his left. Took it first time too.
Nice finish. I'll give you one thing though. This goalkeeper for Suriname, he does not know how to come out of the goal. I noticed that on the Alphonso Davies goal, and now again.
Yeah, we had on the combined 11 with JD. I had to tell him that that Borjan was a better keeper than Han, but that was a perfect little through ball there, and that's what you can do with this type of quality, man. When you give, I mean, David had a chance earlier in the game. I'm sure if you're watching at the time, you would have saw it, but he was probably pretty pissed that he didn't take that opportunity that came to him on a one-on-one, and Han did make a nice save there. But this time, second time around, he was able to put the back of the net with a perfect first time left-footed finish.
So I was at
baby.
a Suriname channel.
Pardon?
I was in a Suriname channel, and what's the name of their 9? It's Hasselbank?
Yeah, Hasselbank.
Yeah, so I said that he was very out of shape for a professional soccer player, and they got very angry.
Well, JD said his nickname's Baby Tank. So,
Yeah, because he looks like a big baby.
oh man, it was good. It's good to see though. I mean, I was genuinely pretty nervous about this game. Like, I mean, talking with JD and taking a look and starting to get to know some of the Suriname players, like there is some quality players on here. I just felt with the talent that we did have up front, and just I know that probably Suriname's more of a well-rounded squad in terms of their quality, but having players like David and Davies can make a difference in a kind of game like this, especially in the CONCACAF, and I feel like that's a big reason why we're seeing them with a 2-0 lead right now.
Well, yeah, the thing is, there's no, especially on this level before the final eight, because in the final eight, you're going to get players and teams that can contain Jonathan David and Alfonso Davies, or at least make it harder for them. But at this level of CONCACAF, prior to the final eight, the final round, I mean, they're way too good. Alfonso Davies, Jonathan, even Kyle Laren's a little bit too good, but he's still way below, especially Alfonso. Yeah, so it shouldn't really be a problem for Canada to go through today. I think the thing is, Suriname hyped this team a lot. They hyped it a little bit too much, right? That's the only thing.
Yeah, I
mean,
think
how
so
old
too.
is Donk right now? They hyped Donk so much. The dude is like 40 years old.
Yeah, there was some hyped up players. I mean Ryan Duck is a good player. He's been around. He's had a lot of caps over his years, and I mean he's a solid, but he's a center back, and he's 35, and he's coming up in the likes of a speedy Jonathan David and Davies. It comes to play, but I mean we got you on here, Tack. So we're gonna get some questions for you. There is a triple substitution, I think, by the way, coming for Suriname, but they're asking who's your picks for CONCACAF. I don't know if you wanted to give any insight or if you want to do straight up the picks, but we got a question here saying who's your guys' picks to make it from CONCACAF into the World Cup.
So I'm gonna go with the favorites right now. I think United States will not miss a second World Cup in a row, and we just showed we can beat Honduras. We didn't play well, we still beat them. We didn't play too well against Mexico either. We still beat them. I think the United States will make it, and this is not me being biased. I think it's a fair pick. I think Mexico will make it. They will struggle a little bit in CONCACAF because Mexico does not have as much depth as they used to be. The team is old and the calendar's tight. There's going to be rounds of 3 games in 1 month, so that'll be tough. Mexico should make it. Now, one team that impressed me a little bit, and I wasn't counting on them too much, was Honduras. I think Honduras might be able to pull it off there. They impressed me against the United States. They impressed me against Costa Rica. Costa Rica is aging. I don't think Costa Rica will make it. Now, the last team, I think Canada could make it. My only issue with Canada is, how is Jamaica going to come? Are they going to get all those dual nationals?
I mean,
if Jamaica gets those dual nationals, it's tough.
Yeah, I agree. With the way that Jamaica is recruiting, I mean, arguably I'd put them in the top 3. I think that Honduras side is similar to like an old school Costa Rica way that they play. It's an excellent tackle there, though, by Henry. Beautifully done. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't think Costa Rica is quite the team that they used to be, man. I think that their kind of golden generation's fallen off. And they had a good fight-ish against Mexico, but I have a feeling that they're going to slip out. I think Canada will be right on that bubble. I'd put Jamaica, U.S., and Mexico, and then have your pick between Honduras and Costa Rica have a fight. And, of course, our Canadians, which we're hoping for.
What federation do we play this year for the Interconfederate playoff?
Who are we playing after this?
What federation do we play for the Interconfederate playoff? The first. Yeah.
I thought for some reason, and I don't know this, maybe someone in the chat knows who we play if but I thought the Asian side. But
so it's beatable. It's not like we're gonna face Common Ball.
No,
so it's beatable.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty confident that's who it was. But
I'll do my picks here. My picks will be United States, Mexico, Honduras, and then the 4th seed will be Jamaica.
So you're going Honduras. Mine would be similar to yours, but I'm going to swap Honduras with Canada. But
I think Honduras is going to give Canada a heck of a lot of trouble if they play each other.
I think this, yeah. I mean, the Achilles heel we all know is the defenders of this Canadian team, but also, again, a lot of question marks are going to be asked on Herdman. A lot of people don't know if he's quite there. But again, with the Canadian Soccer Association, this is the kind of manager we're going to have, and we can't replace him. We're not going to find anyone better. And I think he's got a big summer to prove what he's really made of and what this team is made of. And I do think there's a legitimate chance, mainly because of the real star power that we have on this team.
Wow, MD is so angry. Come on.
MD is.
USA, go away. Whoa. What do you mean go away? I just got here. You're gonna have to deal with me for a little bit longer. Come on, don't get so angry. Josh, someone asked me, Brazil, USA, where's your heart at? So I lived 14 years of my life in the United States and 13 in Brazil. It's kind of hard to choose one because I have family here, I have family there, I have childhood friends here, I have childhood friends there. It's but the thing is, when it comes to soccer, the Brazilian jersey, that yellow jersey, just the most legendary jersey in soccer. So yeah, when they play each other, the vast majority of the times I'm going for Brazil, not just because I think Brazil will win, but just because. But I gave people certain examples. So if the United States plays Brazil in a Copa America final, I actually prefer the United States to win because we don't. It doesn't matter too much to Brazil. We've won so much of so. In 2022 World Cup, I'd rather Brazil beat the United States because Brazil can actually win the World Cup. There's a possibility. The United States has no chance in 2022. 2026, does the United States have a chance of winning it? Probably not, but probably not. Most certainly not. But Brazil does. But I would still go for the United States because the World Cup is in the United States, and that's what's going to make it so special. So I'm actually just divided at the end of the day. I don't know.
Fair enough. And for those of you guys who don't know, Tactical Manager has built a nice company in the United States. He works for Orlando City as well. So, I mean, he's got a real passion of helping grow the sport in the States, which is obviously another reason why he started his channel. So, I mean, I can see it. But yes, the Brazilian jersey, I'd imagine, is probably pretty illustrious to you. But we do have a donation here in the channel. I think it'd be interesting to see what Tactical Manager has to say. I'm not sure how much you watched Lille this year, but the donation was watch Lille for all year for Weah, but David is so good. And like I said, I mean, through One Soccer, I was able to watch Lille all season for Jonathan David as well. We didn't see too much of Weah, but I always try to bug Tactical Manager and told him that we got a Canadian and an American on a team, so I mean we gotta have a soft spot for them. So I don't know how much you watched Weah this year, but David did have a good year towards the end of the season.
Weah, I mean, Timothy Weah was in and out of the starting lineup. He didn't start that many games. He would come off the bench a lot. He was effective many times. But yeah, we saw much more of Jonathan David. But I think Tim Weah played a big role on League to win it. And even what surprised me was when Jonathan David got injured, I thought Tim Weah was going to play a little more minutes. But it didn't really happen, you know? So, yeah, but I think, honestly, I think Timothy Weah was actually an important player for Lille this season, if we think about it. He pretty much came in almost every game, besides the final run. I think the last 3 games, I was also following Lille. And besides the last 2 games, I think he didn't come in. But he played a key role throughout the season. And hopefully next season he can make a jump if they sell a few players. I don't know. Is Jonathan David still?
I don't think David's gonna be sold, but I know that their manager's going out the door. They have some financial troubles. They're probably they've already sold Menyon. I think one of their center backs and even Akone, a couple of them have been linked away. So if Lille are struggling on money, Weah absolutely should look for an opportunity to break up. Oh, but Jonathan David, taken down in the box. No pen. But
I'm looking also here in the chat. Guli Gill, he said tactical good stuff. I like you, but Canada U15, USA A.
All right. Well, they're taking shots. They're taking shots, and I like it. It's a good chat. Us rude Canadians.
We got Brazilian in the chat too. I'm Brazilian, but our football federation is full of corrupt, which makes it hard to build a competitive. He's very right. Yeah, CBF, the federation in Brazil, is very, very, very corrupt. And the only reason Brazil has won and still wins tournaments is just because there's a lot of talent. But the federation definitely does not help. They do everything in the other way.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, football can be like that, man. Like, absolutely. But I don't know. We'll see. Ryan says, will Jebsen play for Canada? Oh, that's a good ball. That is a dangerous ball. I got interrupted.
Oh, gosh. So let me fix one thing here, too. Ooh. So let's talk footy. He said, Tac Manager, you should watch more Bayern because Chris Richards is the best U21 center back in CONCACAF. He might be the best U21, but Chris Richards is playing for Hoffenheim. He's loaned, and he might get a full transfer. They don't know yet. So Chris Richards is not at Bayern. Well, he belongs to Bayern, but he's not playing for Bayern.
and probably the right decision. I mean, with these young North American players, they need minutes. I mean, Chris Richards honestly isn't going to get that at Bayern, especially after picking up Upamecano. He's going to have to find a place to play minutes. And I'm pretty sure I remember watching one of your streams where you were very excited that he went to Hoffenheim, no?
Yeah, it was good for him. And if many don't remember, I believe Bayern loaned out Alaba too to Hoffenheim a few years back.
Yep. Yeah, you're spot on.
So it's totally fine. Chris Richards is 20 or maybe 21 now. So him heading to Hoffenheim, staying there another season, it's perfectly fine. And he started, so he's getting Bundesliga experience. He's improving. There's no point on him going to Bayern, staying at the bench.
Yep, I agree. But yes, getting back to the Jebsen, I think that there's a chance that he can represent Canada. It's going to depend on his development, depending how he's going to go and how quickly he wants to get integrated into a national team, because he's nowhere near getting into that England squad if he ever does get into that England squad. But if he stays with Sheffield next year, he's going to have a ton of minutes in the championship, and if he gets his head turned by Canada, he may take it. I mean, he was obviously from Canada, and I'd lean more towards him going for Canada rather than not. And I think some of the reason why some of these maybe bubble players who may have an opportunity to represent different countries may start leaning towards Canada in the future is because they have that 2026 World Cup under their belt, and it could give some of them an opportunity. Where, let's be honest, I mean, Jebsen is a far ways away from coming anywhere close to that England squad.
I see. Oh, someone's asking about the Indian Super League. Yeah, Gully Gill. So you're from India. Yeah, India has 2 leagues, actually. I don't watch the Indian Super League personally. I don't know if Josh does. I don't know much about it. I did do a video about Indian football a while back, so I did some research and talked to a few people from India about the whole problem with them having 2 leagues. They have the Indian Super League and I think the I-League. Yeah, I don't know if it's crap or not. I can't speak upon that. But if you're Indian and you're saying it's crap, I'll just trust your judgment.
Oh, Davies! Oh, Davies!
No.
Jonathan David puts this thing to bed. John, and this is, and like you've talked up Davies pretty well since you've got here. Your tact, and is this some of the reason why? Just the composure, just the footballing IQ to be able to somehow fall down, get back up, find the ball, decent pass to David. Like, these two are just so dangerous, man.
But let's be honest here. What is that defending? What is this? Is this MLS? This was like MLS defending right now.
And we thought that Suriname had the better defenders, did we not?
I thought they were. That's what they kept telling me. That's what JD told me. I told them today too. Suriname is saying they were saying they could make it to the World Cup and all that. What I told them at the stream, and they got angry about this. I said, look, Canada's strength is the offense, so expect Canada to score. Canada's defense is not good. So if Suriname cannot score 1 goal today, I don't want to hear it anymore. And now I got to give them a nickname. They're and I see Zachary saying there right there. They're the deluded Surinamese. The deluded Suriname. That's what they are now. Deluded Suriname. We got the rude Canadians. Deluded Suriname now. I got to give a nickname to them now. They earned it.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, I mean, it's hard to tell though. Like, I thought the very intriguing thing about this match is like Canada went over a year before having a real competitive match, and then the next 3 competitive matches they had was 5-1, 11-0, 7-0. And the Suriname squad, again, a bunch of decent footballers, putting them together for the first time. They went, and again, 3 relatively easy matches for themselves. So I didn't really know the way that this game was going to go. The way that if this team that played together in the Dutch league, similar kind of system, would be able to figure it out on the day. But clearly not. I mean, they haven't looked very well organized. The finishing has been poor. They've had a couple chances. And I don't know. I just feel like you can see the quality of some of the players on Canada that this Suriname squad just cannot compete with.
Yeah, it's the team is nowhere near as good as they were saying. It's definitely the rude Canadians just completely outplayed them at this point. It's 3-0, and it might even be more. It's not really the whole Canadian team. It's more that they literally couldn't deal with 2 players.
Yeah.
They couldn't deal with Alphonso Davies and Jonathan David. That's something Canada has to work on, because when they play Mexico, Jamaica, United States, they can't rely on these two players doing everything.
Yeah, man, I absolutely agree with you. Like, and that's gonna be like it's gonna be a real battle.
Well,
with
Alfonso again.
Yeah.
Again.
Look at Fonzie, man. He's so good. Oh, and finds Jonathan David. What a surprise. He's rapid down that side. And what he used to do, Alfonso, way back when Herman kind of put together this 3-5-2 formation, is he played a lot on the inside. He almost played as a center mid. Oh, that's a beautiful ball, and that's a penalty for sure. Lucas Cavallini. I wonder if he's gonna take.
Did he give it? Yeah, he gave it.
He gave it. Oh yeah. But David used to he would drift too much on the inside. They wanted to put the ball to him, similar to Neymar, and you made an excellent point about that. And it's not where he's useful. He's got rapid speed. You can see it in this kind of match, and you can see it on full effect. And now he shredded up that side all day long. And after we score this, I mean, we found a very comfortable performance. But
the goalkeeper for Suriname is terrible. So the one thing I was going to ask you too, in regards to Canada, definitely the Canadian offense can compete with the USA defense. If anything, they can give a lot of trouble and score. But how would you feel about this Canadian defense going against Gio Reyna, Serginho Dest, Pulisic, Weston McKennie? Little rough, right?
Yeah. I said it earlier in the stream. I said like our front three, our main three, can go up against any defense in CONCACAF. I mean, even potentially some of them around the world. And I said the caliber of someone who's like Davies, who's won a Champions League, has done everything. Here comes Jonathan David for the penalty.
4-0.
Hey, baby. Jonathan David. That's why we're getting a jersey of him. I've got it ordered. Had to make that debate between Davies and David, but yeah, I'm getting the David one. But yeah, it's interesting. That's why I said it's so curious watching national teams, because you have someone like Jonathan David who's just won it for the Ligue 1 with Lille. They got someone like Davies who's won a Champions League, winning stuff for Bayern. And then you have our two center backs who are playing, one in South Korea, two in the second division of Germany, which it's a very stretched looking squad, and it is definitely nerve-wracking seeing what they can do and if they can handle the situation of a very talented Pulisic, a strong DK, or a link-up Sargent, whatever you may do there, and Reyna.
Yeah, so this game, 4-0. For everything that Suriname said, it's turned out to be the complete opposite. It's pretty much just Canada playing like the other teams. They played Bermuda, every country there. They could have got more goals here. And Suriname looks like they gave up. Now, it's going to be – so Suriname was talking about recruiting all these young players. It's going to be very hard for them to recruit all these young players when they can't even make it to the final round of World Cup qualifying. It's going to be hard to convince Kluivert and all those other guys they're trying to get.
Yep. No. There was a lot of talk. There was a lot of hype. It was hard to see the way that we would go. This was the first real test for both. And the Canadian men's national team answered. Like I said, it was a very shaky opening 25 minutes, man. It absolutely was. But if they, it's gonna be a little longer haul than I think that the Suriname fans may have saw before this thing kicked off. Dutch mid-table FC mudded.
They want Pedro Parker here.
Oh, they haven't met Pedro Parker yet. The dangerous guy.
JJD TV. Josh already met Pedro Parker.
I have met Pedro Parker. I met him a couple times. Scary individual.
Yeah, I don't like him.
No, can't. He's not trustworthy. That's the issue.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get from him.
Tactical video idea: CONCACAF Super Squad versus defending champs France. It's interesting.
That'll be 11-0 France, probably. It probably will be. I'm not joking.
Yeah,
probably will be.
The France squad is strong. But
I don't know. I'm trying to think what position could we win. Maybe goalkeeper, I guess. Keylor Navas is better than Lloris. We win there. Left back. Alfonso Davies might win also for the left back.
They didn't really play with a natural left back. They throw Lucas Hernandez there, and they throw Pavard on right back.
Yeah, so Alphonso Davies would win. Trying to think who else. I think the rest of the team, they might win.
Yeah, I agree. Can Canada
Yeah.
beat USA? Highly unlikely, but possible. From
It's
MD.
possible.
You think? Would you say possible, or you say very, very, very
I mean,
highly
let's
unlikely?
say if we play 10 times, I mean, the United States is definitely better than Canada. But it's what we're seeing here today. Canada has a couple players that can completely destroy the game, like Alphonso Davies, Jonathan David, and I don't know that. Look, it's not like the United States will trash Canada. It's not a game to be 4-0, 3-0. So if Alphonso Davies or Jonathan David can pull a goal, an early goal, Buchanan on a counterattack, I don't think it'll be too easy. But the United States should win. I would assume.
Yeah, I agree. There's some substitutions coming on right now. Atakubi's coming on. Waterspoon's coming on. I didn't quite see the other one, but Davies has ran his race for today. 4-0 at this time. Atakubi's going on for him. Assuming Waterspoon's coming on for, I think I saw Stakio come off. I'm not really sure, but this game's pretty much done and dusted. They're going to get some of the main hitters off, rest up, because we got a date with Haiti coming up. And it's fun. And I mean, some people are saying that Canada isn't far off the US. I mean, I'm Canadian, and I got to disagree a little bit. It's going to depend on the way that a game would go, but our back line is something to definitely worry about. And even our midfields. Like, if Atiba's not here, because Atiba's not here in this one, I mean, we have a couple MLS players like Piet and Osorio. We also have Eustachio, who I think is an incredible player and will probably make a big move. But they have the likes of Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, Acosta.
No. Don't even. That's like, look, saying that name. If you go to my channel, you say that name. That's like saying Voldemort in Harry Potter. You can't do that.
I was just playing with you. I know how much it bugs you. Him and Altidore, who will be captaining the Gold Cup squad, right?
I think we're done with Josie. I think he's gone. He's not even playing for Toronto anymore.
No, I know. They're trying to get rid of him. Akinola is the future of TFC.
Why am I not surprised? Not surprised you're trying to get rid of Josie Altidore.
He's just, I don't know. He's been he's been good for TFC. He's done some wonderful things for TFC. He's been injured way too much. And Akinola, in my opinion, is a better player and more useful player in the way that this team's lined up. So I mean, come on, JJD, hype us up. We ain't got no people like us. I am fired up, man. I was very nervous going into this game. I was after talking with JD, and I think he just kind of brainwashed me a little bit. A lot of Suriname supporters, because they were everywhere on the social media, all over the place. They were pinning my tweets. They were saying like, we're coming back to this. We're gonna run you over, and I don't know. They were almost making me convinced like it was gonna be a much tighter game than it obviously ended up being. Suriname, in my opinion, looked very unorganized. You got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, the Canadians had a rough start, but built their way back into it. And I don't know. I'm looking at that Haiti squad, and this Canadian squad, and hopefully will be going in with some revenge and then heading to the finals where they should be. But I'm getting hyped. And I'm excited, man. I really enjoy doing stuff with Filippo here, and he's been telling me for a while to get into the Canadian men's national team content. So we've done it. It's found a lot of success on the channel, which is awesome, and it gives me a reason to be able to do some more stuff with him. So we have a video coming out hopefully soon, which is going to be talking about kind of where the CONCACAF's going, especially with all the players that are potentially able to represent them. We might even do a tier list. Someone asked for that idea on your channel, Filippo. So we'll leave the door open for you to do that.
I want to bring you to the channel for us to talk about a little bit USA and Canada, compare it a little bit, talk a little bit about both teams. We're going to play each other in Gold Cup. And
I'm excited for it, man. That's going to be a wild one. Especially because the last two games, I mean, Canada had that very rare win over the States, which was crazy. But you guys then handled us 4-1 afterwards, and then went on to win the competition. So
the thing is, we had that game. We had, I think, Lenny Lovitz, right, at the left back. We had Tim Ream, Roldan. It was 2-0. 2018 or 20. Was it with Mr. Berholt? Yeah, it was with Berholt. Right? It was 2019.
It was. I see Joshua Simons here. I think he's one of your boys. The U.S. men's national team made the quarterfinals in a World Cup more recent than anyone else in the CONCACAF.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Mexico made it in the 80s, I think.
In the 80s? That was the last time they made it to the... Josh was asking me if Canada's bringing their B team to the Gold Cup. As far as I know, no. I think Canada's going to go all in, especially, like I said, I mean, the likes of the CONCACAF is dominated primarily by the States and Mexico. And knowing that they're not bringing their A team, from what I've heard and what I'm assuming, I think we're going to see a very strong Canadian team in that Gold Cup. Suriname is all left. This is our moment. Shush to the Suriname fans. Beautiful super chat. Well said. We'll pull a Christian Pulisic for our boy Filippo shushing the Suriname fans. But if there are any still in the chat, most of them have been very nice to me. So I appreciate the support you guys did show on the channel and just being a part of the chat. But I don't think there's many left now.
They are right. Costa Rica in 2014. They made it to the quarterfinals.
Yes. And they lost in a shootout in that.
Yeah, I also got a lot of Jamaicans angry in the other chat because they showed up and they're just very mean. The Jamaicans are very mean and they lie a lot. So they were just lying a lot there. And then I said that, I don't know how old you are, Josh, but I said in my lifetime, I haven't seen Jamaica play in a World Cup. So I asked them if Jamaica was maybe disputing in Mars or something, and they got very angry. They got very angry.
Cavallini. Yeah, I can see you. You like to go at the Jamaicans. I understand it, but Cavallini just had a brutal miss. Where are the Suriname fans now from Canucks Hub? I don't think there's too many hanging around left. I'm assuming these are mostly the Canadians and maybe some Americans. We had a decent amount of U.S. viewers in here that were cheering on Canada today, which kind of surprised me a little bit.
I see. Isaiah said he's talking about the fake news Jamaicans.
Fake news Jamaicans.
I told you about the story of the fake news Jamaicans, right? The reason.
What do you call them? The Mexicans? Didn't you call them fake news too, or no?
Well, I call their media because they love to say JJ Macias is going to Juventus and then he stays in Mexico for 20 years. So they like to so Lainez is the new Messi and then he can't score for 900 years and 900 days and then he scores against the US obviously. Man, just to piss me off.
What was your face? I honestly I was meaning to ask you that. I was meaning to go back and watch it because I know that I was heard earlier Pete said in the chat, knowing our luck, he's going to score the winning goal and he scored the goal to make it 2-1. I'm assuming you lost it. If you go to
that video, someone went there and they marked every single minute of the events of the game of like each goal, so you can click and watch. So to me, during that game, the worst possible scenario for me was us losing to Mexico with Lainez scoring. That was the worst possible scenario. So when he scores on the 79th minute, I think I just had a butt face on. I was just like, no, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. We're going to lose it. And then Weston McKennie came to the rescue. But again, it was all Berhalter. It's just so freaking frustrating. And they make it seem like Berhalter did a good job, and he didn't do a good job. He was the one that kept Mexico in the game. Tata Martino put Lainez in the second half to play and go at Tim Ream. It was very noticeable. And then they're like, no, but Berhalter reacted to it. Yeah, he reacted after Diego Lainez scored.
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to your watch-alongs for quite some time, and you were still not sold even after lifting a little silverware. You're not sold on Berhalter. So I guess I don't know. When realistically would you see them replacing him, if they did?
Definitely not before 2022. I don't think it would happen before the World Cup, unless during the qualifiers we are at big risk of not making it. Then I could see the federation getting desperate. But the thing is, I don't think they're gonna fire him if he's making it to the World Cup. He won Nations League. He's gonna go to Gold Cup now with the B squad, so that'll be his excuse if he loses. And then we go to World Cup qualifying, and if he's qualifying, they're not gonna let him go. And then if we go to the World Cup, then maybe we'll let him go or fire him and get someone to 2026, because we should be taking 2026 very seriously. And having Berhalter as the coach is not really taking it very seriously, to be honest.
So Jesse Marsch is the end goal for 2026, right?
Probably, but I don't think he would take over right after the World Cup. If Marsch takes over, it would have to be mid 2023. So he'll have 2 seasons in Leipzig, and then maybe he can go. I don't think he'll leave Leipzig mid-season.
I agree. I think he wants a touch and some experience too of taking on that Leipzig thing, which I think is going to be a harder job than it may look at first, just because of all the movement that is happening with that Leipzig squad. Marsch obviously, I think, is a little bit more restricted on the formations that Nagelsmann obviously played with them, and it's relatively the same group of guys. So I'm very curious to see how he does with Leipzig next season.
Yeah, we'll see. There's issues with Jesse Marsch too that we've talked about. He's definitely better than Berhalter, but he's been shown, like, he did a good job at New York Red Bulls. That's fine. And then he goes to Salzburg and he wins every trophy, but every coach before him did the same at Salzburg. They always win everything there. When it came to the Champions League, Marsch did not do that good of a job against Bayern. I know it's Bayern and it's hard for anyone to do a good job, but I expected the score to be less elastic, him to hold. It seemed like he didn't have a different strategy, a different way to play. So now he's going to Leipzig. He'll have more resources there. It's a better team than Salzburg. Let's see how he does. To a bare minimum, he has to continue to qualify to Champions League. That's the bare minimum, I believe.
Yeah.
And maybe try to win a trophy, like a German Cup, maybe. Something like that.
I agree. We're in the last couple minutes, guys. A lot of Canadians in the fan, most of them shushing the Suriname fans and viewers, which is totally fine. But yeah, I mean, that was awesome. I have one more little topic I want to get on here with Tactical Manager while we still have him, and it's the Tomori thing. And if what I'm hypothesizing potentially happens, and he does decide to maybe go for Canada, because I'm seeing a lot of you guys in the chat kind of talking up the Canadian team, as you should. We had an excellent game, and that's a nice ball to Atakubi, who, oh, it's a good block. But anyways, who was obviously talking about the success of we could potentially have with Tomori. Now, Tactical, if you're looking at our squad, and obviously the big issue when it comes to the center back, what would it mean to this Canadian team? Would it scare you in any way if we were able to convince Tomori to jump right in and be our center back for our team?
It would be a big difference maker, right? He's starting for AC Milan, isn't he?
Yep, yeah. He had an excellent season with AC Milan, and they're going to spend 28 million on him.
I mean, it's a big upgrade. It's a difference maker, right? All of a sudden, you get an elite center back, and they most certainly need it. So you got him in the back, then you got Alfonso and Jonathan David up top. It's a big difference. Canada, honestly, I think you texted me that. I was just like, you're getting Tomori? That's actually happening? If it happens, I think it's a pretty big deal for Canada. It's pretty big.
I think it would be massive. I think he'd be obviously a huge help. It's desperately what we need. But that is the game, ladies and gentlemen. 4-0 Canada over Suriname. It's a good live stream.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if I told you. The next one on our channel is Julian Araujo coming up.
You said the next interview at the channel?
Yeah, we interviewed Julian Araujo today.
How's that?
Gonna release it later on, obviously. I think next week. But yeah, we just got Julian Araujo to the channel. It was actually pretty interesting. A few things he told us. I can't say it already because then no one's gonna want to watch it.
Well, very cool. If you guys haven't checked out Tactical Manager yet, go over to his channel. He does a lot of awesome U.S. men's national team content. Tactical Manager is how you'll find him. Tactical Manager TV. But yeah, guys, 4-0 win for Canada. Relatively smooth sailing. I think the difference really between these two squads was the pure class. I mean, Jonathan David and Alfonso Davies were massive in these goals that we scored today, the goals we created. It was a huge day, man. A lot of you guys seem very, very excited about it. Congrats to Canada. A lot of chirps thrown towards the Suriname, which is, But a big couple questions we had was, how was the back four / back five looking today? And I think that's a pretty fair question because it's probably the number one thing that we have to ask. And they looked pretty good today, in my opinion. They looked a little shaky up the start. I didn't know what they were going to be like because Kennedy and Henry never played together before. Like I said, one playing in South Korea, one playing in the German second division. But I thought they settled into the game really well. I thought that Borjan did well, kind of calming everybody down after the shaky start. it's not the most ideal center back pairings that you're going to want to watch, but Alistair Johnston I thought did exceptional, shifting from a natural right back to an inside left or right center back, and then the two wing backs, of course, Davies was dominant and Larea had a good game as well. I thought it was very impressive from the back four, considering that they were supposed to be our Achilles heel. Tactical, any input on the back four today?
I think for the competition you guys faced, you were solid, but I think they were also not tested enough, the Canadian defense. They were a little shaky in the first half, so Suriname did create some opportunities. Suriname didn't do much in the second half here, and they were just completely. So the truth is, Suriname was completely outclassed by Alphonso Davies, essentially. That's what it is.
Yep, I think it's fair. And when I was looking at the game beforehand, I was like, we were comparing it left, right, and center, doing our combined 11, doing all that fun stuff. But when it came down to it, and you looked at players who were doing it for the likes of Bayern, Lille, Besiktas, you had a feeling that they were just going to be able to thrive on that, and they did. And David and Davies were dominant, and especially, I mean, David's an excellent finisher, which is something that we need.
Who's the coach for Suriname?
Pardon?
Who's the coach for Suriname? Guus Hiddink is the coach?
No, Gore, I believe is his last name. I can't remember his first name. Okay. He's from Suriname. Yeah,
so I also think he did a very poor job. The thing is, I think he underestimated Canada. He did believe pretty much. Maybe he watches JD's channel a little bit too much, and he thought that Suriname was in the same level. He should have gone back with 2 6s on the back. One of them should have just been all over Alphonso Davies. The rest of the team, whoever's there, just worry about covering Alphonso Davies and just play safe. He tried to just play in the same level as Canada, and I honestly didn't know the Suriname team, so I thought they could play in the same level as Canada, but they're clearly way below. And if he played very defensive, held Alphonso Davies, maybe he would have had a chance, or maybe it would have been 4-0. But he just didn't do it. I just didn't like what he did. And I don't even think Canada did their best formation. I think Canada could have had a better formation.
Yeah, I agree. I found it so curious. Like, when I was talking to JD, I said, my assumption is that we're going to dominate possession. We're a better squad. We're going to have the firepower up front. And if I was Suriname, I would have probably lined up with that back three or 2 6s. I would have done it in a way where you sat back, you defended, because that's supposed to be what the Suriname squad was built on, was their solid defense. And then got pacey wingers and hit on the break and try to get a counterattack and try to nip a goal from that. That's not what we saw. And JD told me that he thought that they were going to play with the possession game, which I kind of think they did originally try to do, but they couldn't compete with the likes of Canada, and it showed.
No, look, and let's say they didn't face Canada. They didn't face Canada, and they went through to the final 8 because they got an easy group or whatsoever. This Suriname team would have finished 8th. It's just not a good team. It's just not a good team. I also thought Ryan Donk wasn't very good. He wasn't very good today. He's old, and I think it was a fair game. 4-0 Canada. It was exactly what the game was, and Alphonso Davies outplayed. And if Canada had, and I was gonna say if Canada had a good defense, it would have been even more, but it wouldn't have changed. They couldn't score on the one thing Canada doesn't have is a good defense, and they couldn't score on the Canadian defense. They couldn't even create that many opportunities. Not even that. They didn't even get unlucky.
Yeah. It was surprising. I mean, they had a couple chances where they was just atrocious finishing. They had the one that went off the bar, which obviously would have been a rocket of a goal. It would have happened relatively early on, but at the grand scheme of things, that this center back pairing of Kennedy and Henry did a good job. And I thought it, like, at first when it was kind of looking a little bit like Suriname was gonna get chances, I thought Henry did a really good job calming it down. He's someone who's been in this national team before. He's had experience in the MLS. He's playing his trade now in South Korea, and I just kind of saw him having a commanding presence. He was going into those challenges, albeit sometimes a risky challenge, but he was coming away with the ball, and it was just a dominant performance from him. The defense looked a lot better than I thought. Suriname just didn't offer anything, really, and we were able to hit on the break.
So, RKM Mara, he never underestimated Canada. I didn't say JD underestimated Canada. I said Suriname, the national team, which is not JD, underestimated Canada. And I mean, it was quite clear. When you lose 4-0 and a team has players that are superior to yours, and I'm not the one scouting. The one scouting is the Suriname national team. His team is scouting. He probably has his scouts. So the thing that I'm saying is, if you're playing a superior team, you bunker, you defend, and you plan to counter on their weaknesses. I didn't see any of that from Suriname. They couldn't create. They couldn't hold the ball. They left Alphonso Davies on one-on-one isolation situations. I'm sorry, you can't do this. If you already are an elite team like a Real Madrid, you already don't want to do that. You don't want to leave Alphonso Davies even on a one-on-one situation with a guy like Sergio Ramos. So why is Suriname doing that? So I don't think so. I don't think JD underestimated Canada, but clearly the Suriname national team did underestimate Canada. It's 4-0, man. I don't know. The numbers speak for me, so I don't need to say much more.
I agree.
And
before we get on to my next point, we got a donation from DVD Sun, $1.50 with a or $1.99 with a heart. Much love, my man. I really appreciate the support on the channel. Donations obviously help do that. But rolling on to what Tactical Manager was talking about some of the kind of tactical decisions that they got wrong. I don't know if you noticed this, but I noticed that Jonathan David had so much space coming in to pick up the ball, which then allowed Davies to run in behind him. And when you talked about having 2 6s, I think that would have handled that. But their defense, who were supposed to be good at marking a man and following his runs, he did it every time. He made a step in, came back, received a pass, held up the ball, found Davies on the overlap, and it was too easy.
Did you notice how they gassed out too?
Yeah, they did. I did notice that.
They gassed out. I told you, I made a joke at JD's channel about their center forward being out of shape. It was a joke, but I meant it at the same time. They were out of shape. The team gassed out. And then Alphonso Davies did not gas out. Jonathan David did not gas out. So again, it's just they should have honestly played a low block, bunkered, played very narrow, so they would force Alphonso Davies to go down the lane instead of going middle. Don't allow Alphonso Davies to go middle. But they didn't do that. They gave space. They let them put a through ball to Alphonso Davies. Why would you allow that? Why would you be so high that you would allow that to happen? It was also who was playing there again? Lerdan from Inter Miami.
Oh yeah.
The team's not good. The team's just not good. It's not as good. I did expect more from Suriname. That's all I'll say. Because I'm still not sold on Canada. I'm still not sold. No offense, I'm just not sold on Canada yet.
No, as someone who's covering the team right now, I want to be as honest and open with everyone as well. And I'm not overly convinced yet because I still don't think I thought this would have been a real test. And arguably, I don't think Haiti's going to be, knock on wood, I don't think Haiti's going to be all that stronger, if they're stronger at all, than Suriname. I think they'll be maybe a little bit more organized and well run, but this Canada team should be going to the Final 8, and then the real test begins there. I think there's a good squad there. Like I said, national teams can be curious like that when you have some superstars playing at a totally different level than some of the other players that they're playing with. I think they've done a really well job in the opening round. Hopefully they carry that on to Haiti. 2 legs, I think they should be able to handle them over 2 legs, not that kind of fluke upset that happened in the first time. And then when they take on the Jamaicas, then they take on the States, and they get the Mexicos, we'll have a real look at what this side can actually do against some of the big boys.
So, Josh, I'm going to answer here LHP. So LHP said, didn't we beat you 2-0, lad? Well, Canada did beat us 2-0 in 2019 somehow. But look, you're using the same argument, and you're not going to like it because that's what the 03 fans kept saying to me for a while. Every time I would say the United States is better than Mexico now, L3 fans would bring up 2019 when they beat us in Gold Cup. They beat us twice, actually, in 2019. The United States is a lot better now. It's not me overhyping. The United States is a lot better now than prior to the pandemic. That's not even debatable. So you can say you beat us in 2019. It's different teams. Canada is also better, by the way, because Alphonso Davies broke out after. Jonathan David broke out now. But the United States got better in almost every single position. The starting 11 for the United States is a very competitive team. Now, I truly believe the United States are the best team in CONCACAF right now, not just because we beat Mexico. I thought beforehand, and you're my witness, Josh. I've been saying this for a while.
Yep, man, I agree. And everyone was asking me that question too. Who's better between Mexico and the States? And the pool of talent that the States have is exceptional. It is. I think that you guys have so much more to choose from than this Mexican side. I think the thing that's holding you back, like what you said, could potentially be your manager. But there's so much talent there. It's a good group of guys. And if you can get it right on the day, I would be more scared to take on the States than I would be Mexico. But I do think the Canadian side, like Tactical Manager said, has gotten better since that 2-0 win and 4-1 loss. But I mean, like Jonathan David is exceptional, man. Just for a fact for you guys, he's got 15 goals, 15 international goals for Canada in competitive competitions in 14 matches. Those are insane numbers, and it's pretty cool having a striker at his caliber.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's what I told you. Jonathan David and Alphonso Davies would be lock-in starters in the U.S. men's national team. Both of them. It's not even debatable. It's not even close. They would both be starters in the U.S.
Someone asked you that question earlier, and I was gonna say we've already talked about it. It was which players could break into the top the U.S. team, and that would be, you said, Davies and David. But Henry asks, is Tomori not cap tied? And there's a new rule right now that I believe makes him eligible to join Canada if he wants to. And if Tomori joins Canada, he would be one that could walk into that U.S. squad as well. But it would be pretty dangerous, pretty interesting to see. But yes, I think David's one of, if I don't know, where would you rank him in terms of strikers in CONCACAF? Tactical, being as unbiased as you can.
Let's assume Raul Jimenez is back to normal. Can I assume that?
Yep.
Okay, so Raul Jimenez to me is still the best center forward in CONCACAF if he's fully healthy, and I know he'll be back to playing. We'll see how he is. And I'm also, I believe Mikel Antonio also is confirmed with Jamaica. So I think it's Raul Jimenez, Mikel Antonio, and I think Jonathan David has more potential than both of them. But obviously, those are two players in their prime. Jonathan David is what, 19, 20? 20. So yeah, right now it's probably Raul Jimenez, Mikel Antonio, and I put Jonathan David as number 3.
He's actually 21. I was a little off, but yeah. I mean, Raul Jimenez is just a force up front for that number 9. I don't think Jonathan David is quite where he is yet, but I would put Jonathan David in front of Antonio. I've never been a huge fan of him. I think he's a good player. He's a good pickup for Jamaica, and Jamaican fans would probably not like me hearing that, but I'm a little biased too. I mean, I've watched Jonathan David way too much, and I just think he can bring a little bit more than Antonio, because Antonio, in my opinion, he wasn't a striker for a long time. He played right wing back for a long time as well. He's a definitely different striker, but I would agree that's probably the top 3 in CONCACAF.
But then again, let's see it this way. Didn't Mikel Antonio score for a few seasons? He scored 15 goals in the Premier League.
I believe he did. He had a great season with West Ham.
So that's the thing. How would Jonathan David? He did very well in the French league, which is actually a pretty good league. He had how many goals this season? 15, right? Something like that.
He had 14.
14 goals. Would he be able to do so in the Premier League in a team that's weaker? So Lille was top 1 the French league. I think PSG is still better than them, in my opinion. But they were a top team in the French league. He got that amount of goals. Now you put him in a mid-table Premier League team. Would Jonathan David been able to score more than 10 goals already? I don't know. He could prove me wrong, but
no,
I don't know.
Man, that's a very unique and interesting way to look at it. And
it's a tough one.
I don't know. I don't know that answer. But it's a good debate. Like I said, I've watched Jonathan David a lot more than Antonio, and I just know that he got brought up as a striker. He's a natural striker. He has done it for club and country now. I'm curious to see what Antonio can do for the Jamaican squad, to see if he can replicate that type of form that you just alluded to with West Ham, because like you said, it is impressive putting up those kind of numbers when you weren't even a striker. Now you've been kind of converted into this, I don't know, unique type of striker, and you put up those kind of numbers. It is impressive. I'm going to back my boy Jonathan, though. We know that. So
But then Mikel Antonio is at his prime, too. So I think it's, even if Mikel Antonio is better, he's at his prime, so it's expected.
Yep.
So I think Jonathan David will be a lot better than Mikel Antonio throughout his career. And I mean, if he reaches Raul Jimenez's level or more, if he reaches Raul Jimenez's level, that's a heck of a player you guys are going to have.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm a big fan of Jimenez, and obviously you are too. He's kind of a complete striker. He played very well for obviously a Wolves team like that, but it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future. And I'm excited for CONCACAF, man. I am. I think this is a huge step for every country that's involved in it, and I think it's gonna make for a very intriguing Gold Cup.
So, Josh, one question here. So, did Lille play in the Champions League this season?
They did not. They played in the Europa League, and they didn't pour in it.
They did poor, and so that's my point too with Jonathan David. We'll see how he does in the Champions League when they face a tough opponent. I'm assuming they won't be a top seed. They probably won't be a top seed, so they'll probably fall in the group of one of the powerhouses. We'll see how he does when he faces tougher opponents, Jonathan David. Because remember, the French league is a league that after the top 8, the bottom 12, it might be worse than Liga MX. I'm not joking. The bottom 12. Yeah, it really is. It's really weak. Like you see, Neymar is literally, I know Neymar is up there as one of the best players in the world, but Neymar and Mbappe, they literally toy around in that league a lot of the games. So we'll see how Jonathan David does when he plays against tougher teams. I do think the potential is there, but I do need to see more from him. Alphonso Davies, to me, is proven. That one I don't even argue.
Yeah, and I agree. And I hope he stays in Lille for one more season just to get that Champions League touch, to stay in a system that he's used to, players he's used to. And then I'd like to see him make a step. I don't know where it would be from there, but I would like to see him potentially make that step one day. But a lot of people are telling us to play a FIFA match, Tactical Manager. So when you get your gaming channel up, you'll have to invite me on. We'll do a Canada versus US game.
I don't have the PS5.
You have the PS5?
I don't. I never was able to. I can't find it.
I only have a PS4. Or are you still on Xbox?
I have a Nintendo Switch because this might come as a surprise to many, but I play a lot of Pokemon and Zelda. A lot.
You play a lot of what?
Much. Pokemon and Zelda.
Oh, you and Producer T would get along very, very well, my man.
Probably. I like if you go up to Generation 3 in Pokemon, I can name all of them, every single one up to Gen 3. And then after that, it's not like I don't know them. I know most of them. I just can't name every single one. And I finished every single Pokemon game. I got the new Pokemon Snap. I'm a big Pokemon fan. Okay. I have Pokemon cards. So yeah, so maybe me and Producer T need to make a Pokemon channel maybe.
Hey, yeah. Pokemon, I can get you too. So can Taylor. I never played Zelda. That's an issue. But
Zelda is beautiful.
It is beautiful. But all right, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up there today for the stream. Thank you guys so much for the support on the stream today. It was absolutely fantastic. On top of that, we're moving on, and we get to get 2 more exciting games coming up against Haiti. Should be a lot of fun. Hopefully, with this squad, this group of guys, I'm pretty sure, knock on wood, we'll be able to move on to the final round. And then we're going to have a nice date with a few more times with Tactical Manager over the next few months. So, Filippo, I appreciate you coming on, my man, and getting your thoughts and opinions on the game and kind of giving us just a look of where this Canadian men's national team needs to go to compete with the likes of US. So, I appreciate it. If you guys want to go check out Filippo's channel, it is Tactical Manager TV. I don't know if we can put it in the chat for... It's in the chat already.
Okay.
It's pinned.
It's okay. So. We're all going to see each other a lot. It's okay.
All right, Filippo, anything else you want to say before we head out?
No, just thank you for having me here. All the rude, very rude Canadians. Thank you for being so nice to me today. I was so surprised you guys were nice there. And guys, we'll see you guys in Gold Cup.
Awesome. We appreciate it, guys. Everyone take care. Big win for Canadians men's national team. Massive moment for the sport. We're moving on to Haiti, and we'll see you guys for the watch-alongs in the time being. Take care.